Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Hi, everyone. Well, it is super exciting to be here today and to be hosting our first expo at Istanbul Plug and Play Mobility and IoT Vertical. My name is Lalecan Gözübüyük, and I am Turkey Country and Regional Director at Plug and Play. So let me tell you a little bit about the expo day. I'll be telling you more about it later on, but just to be brief, we worked really hard over the past year. Well, by we, I don't mean just us as Plug and Play, but us, Plug and Play, and our corporate partners and our startups and everyone we connected from the ecosystem. And we believe we created some great success stories to share with you. We work hard because innovation doesn't happen overnight. It requires a certain kind of mindset and determination. So we are big believers in it. And this Expo Day is a showcase of how we think about innovation, really, and what happened in Istanbul Mobility and IoT Vertical over the past year. Before I move into our local operations, let me quickly tell you about Plug and Play for those of you who may not know us, or if it's the first time you're actually getting to know Plug and Play. Plug and Play is the biggest innovation platform in the world. What we do is actually made up of 3 core pillars. We run accelerator programs all around the world. Actually, this expo is a celebration of the past 2 acceleration programs we ran with MESS and Aygaz and Otokoç. So we run over 60 of them all around the world every year. We are a corporate innovation platform, meaning that we have over 500 blue chip corporate partners that work with us every year, and we help them solve their innovation problems. And yeah, there are over 40,000 startups in our ecosystem we match them with. Well, we are also a venture capital firm. We invest in over 250 startups all around the world. And well, we have a portfolio of 1,700 startups, and 30 of them are unicorns. Talking about our programs, we call them verticals. So today we will be mostly talking about mobility and IoT vertical, hence the name of the vertical and the expo. But like we can study lots of other subtopics under the vertical. And there are the other verticals that are active all around the world at Plug and Play. I think it is showing like 20 of them in the slide. So we work with fintech firms. We have a really extensive food and beverage vertical, health, brand and retail, sustainability, energy. So it is a wide portfolio. I actually mentioned this before. We have the largest corporate network in the world. You will be familiar with most of the names here. So we have MEXT and Aygaz and Otokoç right at the top. Or we have companies like PepsiCo, for example, in the portfolio that has been working with us from the very early days, or Procter & Gamble. So moving on to the next slide. And these are some of our unicorns. So if you want to know more information about them, again, some of them are very old unicorns in our portfolio and some of them are relatively newer. So we are very proud of them. Although we are a big firm, we didn't stop growing over the past year. We opened new offices in 9 new locations, Istanbul being one of them. We operate in 5 continents and at 18 countries. Let me tell you a little bit about our local operations. We are based in Istanbul, and our innovation platform is designed to help shape the fourth industrial revolution in Turkey. We are building an inclusive ecosystem to foster the collaboration and exchange of experiences among corporations, startups, and institutions. So you will know our partners. We started the journey very early last year with MEXT. MEXT is our first founding anchor partner at Mobility and IoT vertical here. And later on in the year, Aygaz joined us as another founding anchor partner next to MEXT. And right now, very recently, actually, a few months ago, Otokoç also joined our ecosystem as an ecosystem partner. Let me tell you about what happened over the past year in Istanbul. So we've been active for just over 1 year here. We completed 2 programs. And in those 2 programs, we completed 6 focus weeks. We have 3 corporate partners, as I said, MEXT, Aygaz, and Otokoç. We completed 6 pilot projects, and we introduced 140 startups to our corporate partners. They selected 63 of them. We organized 118 meetings that resulted in 3 collaboration agreements. So here is the agenda of the day. I mean, I don't want to keep talking because you have an interesting and fun day ahead. Next, you will have our customer testimonials video where you'll be hearing some of our global customers talking about plug and play. And straight after that, we'll have our first panel discussion. We'll be hearing MEXT and Aygaz's points of views of working with plug and play. Have a fun and great day. I'll be seeing you later on. Bye-bye.
Plug and Play, with its global innovation and even open innovation platform, gives us such a good, not only network in sense of that we have access to other distributors, other suppliers, other startups, but it also helps us to position and also get access to startups and be attractive to them.
The energy and the introductions and even some of the corporate networking that Plug and Play has facilitated has been phenomenal, right? And it's really how we see the future of PepsiCo.
Within one concept, what's the main value that Plug and Play offers to corporate partners like us is that it really expedites and speeds up the process of technology scouting.
You know, being a big organization, there's a lot of wheels spinning every day, and a lot of people are investigating different aspects of new innovations and breakthrough technologies. Having that one central hub in Plug and Play to connect to this world of startups that have these huge innovations and things that we wouldn't have even thought of as an organization, and just bringing that and having that opportunity to seamlessly connect with a startup that we may never have known about could have the solution to a problem we've been trying to solve for years.
Plug and Play helps us to dive into the network that is there of startups, which we don't see in all of the detail and its opportunity. So it helps us to build partnerships as decarbonizing also logistical supply chains. It's all about teamwork. It's about getting the right partners for the integrated value chain together. And this is definitely where Plug and Play can be super beneficial for us as Shell.
Hi, everyone. Now it is time for our first panel discussion. I have 3 incredible speakers. It is highly likely that you know them very well. I will be moderating the panel. We have dear Özgür Burak Akkol, chairman of MESS, and MESS Technology Center, also known as MEXT, is our first founding anchor partner at Plug and Play Istanbul. So he is a very special person for us and for the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in Turkey overall. Welcome, Özgür Bey. We have dear Gökhan Tezel, Chief Executive Officer of Aygaz. Aygaz became a founding anchor partner at Plug and Play Istanbul Mobility and IoT vertical next to MESS last year. Their way of looking at innovation has never failed to impress us. And Gökhan Bey is one of the top architects of this innovation culture. So welcome, Gökhan Bey. And finally, we have our CEO and company founder at Plug and Play Tech Center, Saeed Amidi, who has created Plug and Play from scratch to its current days. And in fact, to those who may not know, Plug and Play has grown from a few people in a single office in Silicon Valley to its current days with more than 40 offices all over the world. So thank you very much to you all for being here and making the time. It's an honor to be hosting this panel for me. Today, we will be discussing your partnership with Plug and Play and your way of looking at innovation. And obviously, I do know you very well, and I'm sure people in Turkey do know, particularly Özgür Bey and Gökhan Bey, they know you really well. But today, people are watching us from all around the world. So I would love to get an introduction from you about you and your organizations. Maybe let's start with Özgür Bey.
Thank you, Lale, for the kind introduction. Thank you and Saeed for organizing this platform. As you know, today I am representing MEXT, the world's largest, the most innovative, one-of-a-kind state-of-the-art technology center. And you know actually very well, but we established MEXT under the roof of Turkish Employers Association of Metal Industries, namely MESS. With MEXT, we aim to accelerate digital transformation and support our members in digital transformation journey. And we have actually MESS is representing 260 global and local metal and metal-related companies, including automotive, appliance, durable goods, iron and steel. These companies actually have combined employee population of more than 200,000. And our members have been contributing to Turkish economy by more than $60 billion every year. And we are responsible for more than 60% of overall Turkish export. Within the establishment of MEXT, our vision is simple: to create a digital factory with use case scenarios where our members will have the chance to explore new technologies in a real factory atmosphere. We have more than 50 globally recognized technology and solution providers. And in addition to this digital factory, maybe last note, the Technology Center is a part of World Economic Forum Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution network. This is the brief intro for my organization.
Thank you so much. And the story of MEXT is really incredible. It's inspiring to all of us. I know you guys have put so much effort into it, and I'd like to take the opportunity here to those who haven't seen MEXT yet. Please do not miss this opportunity. Moving on to you, Gökhan Bey, and Aygaz has been around for over 60 years. This is a long time. I'm sure there is, some secret sauce to this success. Maybe can you please tell us more about Aygaz with your own words?
Sure, with pleasure. First of all, thank you so much for making us part of this event. Aygaz is a member of Koç Groupe. As you know very well, Koç is the largest conglomerate of Turkey.
Gökhan Bey, your voice is coming and going. Sorry.
I hope the connection is good. As I said, the Koç is the largest conglomerate of Turkey, and Aygaz is proudly the first energy company of Koç Groupe. As you said, are celebrating our 60th anniversary, and in our 60th year, we became partner with Plug and Play. We were established in 1961 as an LPG distribution business in Turkey, but over the years, of course, we made lots of progress in our business, and today, even though LPG is still our mainstream business, we are active in some other areas, either along with LPG or out of LPG. We manage a value chain in LPG that starts right at the production of the product When I say LPG, by the way, it's called mostly propane in the US, so LPG doesn't mean much to US consumers, but when I say propane, it makes much better sense, I believe. So we get the product right from the source, be it a refinery or a natural gas production site. We buy products from various sources in the world, the US, let's say some countries in Africa, Gulf countries, North Sea, and we deliver the product to the end user, either to their homes, to their businesses, or to their vehicles. And we are active in every part of this long value chain. So this is how we differ ourselves from the rest of our competitors and how we add more value to our business. Along with LPG, we are active in natural gas business in Turkey as a wholesale distributing company. And recently, we entered in some new businesses based on our very strong network of LPG-based dealers in Turkey. We got more than 4,000 dealers, which is one of the largest dealer networks in Turkey. And based on this very strong footprint that we have in Turkey, we started a technology-based end-to-end parcel delivery business, which I will talk later. That project came as an in-house innovation project. I think it's worth mentioning. So basically, this is what Aygaz is today.
Amazing story. Thank you so much. I mean, again, it's incredible how you keep, reinventing yourselves and how you're always dealing very well with the challenges of the eras you've been operating. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about that later on. And Said, my next question is to you. I mean, it's time for you to introduce Plug and Play. It's your baby and it's a huge success story. And how did it all start and where do you think this is going towards?
Yes, first of all, it's great to be here. And I would like to first recognize MEXT, who came to visit us in, I believe, Stuttgart. And then we were able to join MEXT to come to Istanbul, Turkey. And I must say, for the people who have not seen this innovation center, they must come and see it, because I am fond of innovation and technology centers. And it's one of the best I have seen anywhere in the world. And now coming back to Aygaz, I have been involved in direct bottled water delivery, which is very similar to this, propane tanks. And, you have taken an industry that is very traditional, but very much modernize it. And with this direct delivery to consumer through your 4,000 dealers, I believe you could become like the last mile delivery, which is one of the world's most challenging endeavor these days. But then, if I may talk about Plug and Play, I have been fortunate enough to work with very large companies around the world, and like BNP Paribas, Mercedes, Walmart, to name a few, Procter and Gamble. And we are really proud to be part of what we call digital transformation and innovation of these corporations. And our product is startups and entrepreneurs, because we feel, these technology entrepreneurs will help to change the world to better, like Google says, they organize the world information. It just happened to be that Google was 3 people when they came to our building, and then they left when they were 50 people. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot see a world without Google. And anything you want to do, first you Google it, and then you kind of see what is the information and where you want to go. And quite frankly, Plug and Play has been very fortunate to be in Silicon Valley, on very close to Stanford and Berkeley, and we've been very excited to be part of the journey of so many entrepreneurs around the world, and now so many organizations like Aygaz and MEXT. It's just, I think I have the best job in the world.
Really great to hear that from you. We definitely feel the vibe working here. I mean, it has been a great experience for me. It's been a year, but the speed of things, it's just incredible. I'm learning a lot as well. So my next question, coming back to you, Groupe, how did it all start with Plug and Play, and why did it start? And what were you aiming to achieve with this partnership?
Thank you, Lale. Actually, we have been in discussion with Plug and Play for a long time on how we can bring the platform to Turkey, and we had many discussions with Said and the team, and we finally officially launched our partnership in January last year. Our aim is to take this lead of global open innovation by introducing industry companies to the global startup ecosystem. And as a part of our mission at MEXT, we saw a great opportunity in partnership with Plug and Play. I should say this. And this partnership fits very well with our agenda, MEXT agenda of bringing in the latest technology and obviously the startups to Turkey. And using these companies here as a ground for pilot projects and establish a powerful innovation ecosystem will be our initial, obviously, goals, fundamental goals. And via our partnership with Plug and Play, our members get unlimited access to a strategically aligned selection of startups that meet their tech interests and innovation targets. Our members have the opportunity to meet with local and global entrepreneurs that can address their constantly changing needs. One another thing, as a part of this partnership, of course, another goal that we are currently actively working on is to support local startups coming from the region or coming from our country, Turkey, to expand into global markets and increase their market value, contribute to local economy. Said just defined very well. We want more Googles coming from the region, or we want more unicorns coming from Turkey. And I am sure this partnership, MEXT, Aygaz, and Plug and Play partnership will support this goal very strongly, actually.
Yeah. I mean, at Plug and Play Istanbul, we definitely share the same goal with you. I mean, I personally have promised to do my best to help the ecosystem in Turkey, and MEXT is definitely serving that purpose to the country. So thanks for that as well. Gökhan Bey, your partnership with us started a little later, and after we started our first program with MESS, what made you join us?
Well, we are a member of MESS for many years. I think we became a MESS member in the 1970s. If I'm not wrong.
We're losing your voice, Gökhan Bey. If you could just be a little closer.
I will repeat. Can you hear now?
Yes.
We are a member of MESS for many years. I think since mid-70s. And we were very closely following the developments at MEXT. Being a company that has digital transformation in its focus, we were very closely following the developments there. And then once the agreement signed between MEXT and Plug and Play, Özgür Bey kindly offered us being another partner. And so the opportunity actually came to us. We were very lucky. And we didn't want to miss this great opportunity. I had visited the head office of Plug and Play in 2017 with a delegation of Koç executives. And we had a very fruitful meeting there with Said. And we were very impressed all, I mean, with the achievements there. I mean, we were speechless. And knowing this, that was the case, and what I told my colleagues in the company was that, you know, without being part of such an organization, it would be very difficult to meet with the right startups, because the good ones go there first. I mean, or this type of organizations. I mean, the ones that skip from there would probably end up in other platforms. But the Plug and Play environment, the setup is the best one if you want to be in close contact with startups globally. And then the opportunity just arose again, thanks to MEXT and Özgür Bey. We were just lucky to be offered this opportunity. And I think we didn't even think even a second to agree on it. And we are very pleased to be part of this, this organization that is right in Turkey.
And we are very pleased to have you on board with us. You guys started really fast, and I'm sure we'll be announcing some great achievements very soon. So fingers crossed for that. Said, in light of what you heard from Özgür Bey and Gökhan Bey, and from your experience in solving innovation-related questions within organizations, what is innovation to you? I mean, is there a right way to approach it?
Perfect question. You know, innovation and technology provide solution to real problems. You know, like we talked about IGAS and having activity in the whole value chain, you know, for distribution and efficiency of supply chain. I think last 2 years, we have had a challenge in the world of supply shortages in many industry, in the automotive industry, electronic industry. And the only way you could provide more efficiency in this whole value chain or supply chain is technology. And even I am so glad that we are having this panel, because normally we would have it live in an expo in Istanbul, but the world uses technology to provide solution to pretty much reduce cost, improve lives of the people. And the interesting thing about MEXT and Aygaz is we believe in open innovation. That means having multiple organizations on the same platform on one side, and the other side, we work with local startup technology companies and international companies to solve their problem. If I may use an example, you know, automotive industry is being electrified, it's being connected, and it's being autonomous. And specifically when I work with Mercedes or Ford or GM, they tell me the whole industry is moving so fast. You know, Mercedes has 75,000 engineers, but they tell me actually they consider themselves a technology company. But with 75,000 engineers, they cannot keep up with the speed of technology and change in the automotive industry and trucking industry. So 5 years ago, they asked us to open this facility in Stuttgart, but now we have the biggest telco in Germany, T-System, Deutsche Telekom. We have the biggest tier 1 suppliers like Bosch and ZF. And we even have a petroleum company like British Petroleum on the same platform, because you have to have different industries on the same platform to be able to know the challenges, as well as then you could bring startups to address those challenges. I think Oscar mentioned that first you start with the challenge, then you find a solution from a startup, then you will do like a pilot or a trial to see if the startup can solve the problem. And then you repeat this over and over again to, frankly speaking, to improve the process and improve lives around the world. And again, we've been able to do this in Germany, France, Italy, US, Japan, Singapore, China, and we are so proud to be in Istanbul, and we would love to invite many more industrial groups to join the platform, because any community becomes more powerful when you have more connections. That was a long answer to a short question.
That is a very good answer. And in fact, it's our aim to create a very vibrant ecosystem here, where not just startups help companies, but everybody helps everybody. Companies help each other, startups help each other. So that's our ultimate goal in Istanbul. I'm sure you will agree with me as well. I would like to ask the same question to Özgür Bey and Gökhan Bey as well, maybe starting with Özgür Bey. What do you think innovation is for you and for MEXT?
Lale, as the recent Davos agenda highlighted, the world is drastically changing by the recent global change. Of course, COVID-19 and its impact in all fields of life. European Commission highlighted the need for a radical race on development, production, and obvious use of technology after the current chip crisis. Business leaders' predictions from around the world showed that solutions lie actually in three areas: technology, innovation, and inclusion. I would add decarbonization as fourth. We should all be rethinking industrial production methods, transportation, and the way we live day to day from a sustainability angle as well. And at that point, MEXT aims to address all four areas and bridge the gap between industry, technology, innovation, and of course, inclusion and sustainability. We have brought in two key digital transformation programs from different parts of the world. One is from the birthplace of Industry 4.0, Germany, obviously, from the renowned Fraunhofer Institute. The other is recommended by the World Economic Forum for all industries, the Smart Industry Readiness Index, SIRI. And these are available at the use of our members to enhance their technology and innovation capacity, actually. Following the formation of transformation roadmaps that we draw with our members, we create solid action plans to address the issues and further develop the findings. Throughout their information journeys, we also provide connections to our members and foster their collaboration and engagement with world-class institutes and technology companies. And I strongly believe in the value of this process as digital transformation changes how organizations compete and create differentiation strategies in the industry, ultimately enabling the industry to develop and become stronger even further. Thus, I would say, approaching digital transformation strategically and at all levels, cultivate greater resilience in possible future crises. And MEXT houses the world's most advanced end-to-end connected digital model factory. We have a real manufacturing environment equipped with recent technologies like AI and 5G. We have more than 150 complex technology use case scenarios available for the experience of our members. To sum up, with all these details, our goal is actually simple: to create the metal industry for the future. And this future is all about innovation. That's my approach to your question.
Thank you, Özgür Bey. Gökhan Bey, how about Aygaz?
Lale, as you know, we are operating in our mainstream business in a traditional sector. And unfortunately, the market, the business does not grow. So that forces you to be better than your competitors, more innovative, more efficient. So innovation is not a choice for us, it's a must in order to survive and also provide the growth that our stakeholders require from us, which is why we are here. Therefore, innovation in Aygaz is one of the main areas of focus. We have a very successful in-house entrepreneurship program called iThink that was started in 2016. We have gained actually a lot and learned a lot since we initiated this platform. Since 2016, we have generated 1,120 ideas from our people. 34 of them were studied with lean entrepreneurship method, and 21 of them were studied at pilot stage. And I'm very happy to say that 2 of those were commercialized, and one of them is Senseye, the one that I mentioned, technology-based end-to-end parcel delivery platform. So this is the in-house part. What was lacking was the open innovation side, and now that is an area that we are working on together. I think if we can combine these two, we will have a very strong base of innovation platform in Aygaz. Would you like me to talk about Senseye a bit, or would you like me to do it at a later stage?
Yeah, definitely go for it.
I mean, I think Senseye is a very good example of innovation. As I said, we have a very strong network of 4,000 dealers in Turkey. And one of the ideas that were raised by our people in this platform was to use this strong network to address the challenging needs of delivery requirements of e-commerce companies in Turkey. E-commerce is booming in Turkey. The average CAGR of e-commerce is more than 30% in the last 5 years. And the traditional parcel companies are not able to cope with this increased demand and the technological needs of e-commerce companies. So we made the pilot, and eventually we decided to commercialize it. Of course, in being part of a large group, that requires some certain authorization process. But eventually, we were given the green light by our board and executive committee, Otokoç holding. And eventually, this is a startup. And as Aygaz, we decided to invest $60 million for this new startup. And it's been so far a great success. and we have a dedicated team that is just working for this. And that potential of growth actually drove the attention of McKinsey & Company. Mm-hmm. And they decided to be partners in this new company. And now we are working together with McKinsey & Company. And that's, I think, the beauty of this innovation process. I mean, they would never be probably interested to be a long-term partner in a traditional business, but they see the potential here. And now we are working together. And I think in a couple of years, this will be a major growth area for Aygaz Group.
Amazing. And that's the beauty of innovation, I guess. You start somewhere, you want to go somewhere, but on the way, you might realize actually you might need some other partners, or you might need to be not at point A, but B. So starting there, having the right mindset, I believe is the most important thing. And maybe as a follow-up question, Said, coming back to you again, we say at Plug and Play that we make impact at corporates, and we love the word impact. And what impact does Plug and Play have on corporates, in your words? I mean, I've seen it personally as well, but I would love to hear your views on it. And why does it matter to partner with Plug and Play?
Yeah, we talked about delivery, if I may stay on that subject a little bit. As e-commerce, and in my house, I think we have 2-3 boxes at the door every day, and I hope somebody will pick up the empty boxes and recycle them for, as Özgür mentioned about sustainability. But for example, we helped a company in Latin America called Rappi, which is the delivery company, the largest delivery company in Latin America right now. We work with Japan Post and Yamato in Japan to optimize their delivery infrastructure. And we kind of, every challenge in the world needs a solution. And we believe at Plug and Play the technology applied to any challenge will make it more efficient, more impactful. Like, for example, this 4,000 dealers, they already have a warehouse, they already have trucks and delivery business, but most importantly, they have the customers, they have the routing in that neighborhood. They know, I'm sure for 30 years, they know the neighborhood very well. What are the homes? What are the businesses? So if you bring a layer of technology on top of that, which means, being able to click and get a delivery instead of phoning someone or scheduling something, it automatically creates impact, jobs, new innovation, and finally comfort to receive anything you need at the right time, at the right place, at the right price. So this is, I believe, what technology innovation does, applying it to traditional IGAS distribution system. And I am of a school that says that will improve lives and improve standard of living.
Yeah. And continuing with the theme of impact, maybe it's appropriate here to ask our partners here, what have they thought of Plug and Play so far, and how do they think the partnership has been like? Maybe starting with Özgür Bey. I know it's been only a year, but all of us at both Plug and Play and MEXT have worked really hard to create some impact. How has your experience been with Plug and Play so far? And yeah, both for MEXT and for the member companies.
Great, Lale.
That's a quick answer. That's a great answer.
MEXT serves as the regional hub for Plug and Play and provides service to not only Turkey, but 12 other countries in the area. And this is, of course, unique opportunity, not only for the industry in Turkey, but also for the very rapidly developing economies and industries in our neighboring countries. Mm-hmm. Our focus on Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. We aim to serve our members' innovation strategies, as I just explained, with latest technology solutions around the world. And our digital factory atmosphere presents an excellent space and technology for piloting these startups. Said actually underlined the importance of piloting just a minute ago. And our competent technical team has been partnering closely with the startups to try to and test their solutions on our factories and on our solutions. This capability, of course, provides us startups to get valuable expert feedback from the real factory environment and industrial users, and helps optimize their solution. This is a unique opportunity for them, I believe. On the flip side, there is an interesting benefit for Plug and Play to being a part of MEXT. It is for the startups to have the opportunity to access to MEXT members, partners, and connections very rapidly and very easily. Startups with MEXT know-how and member backing gets hands-on support for their go-to-market strategy and access to growth. In 2021, we established more than 200 direct connections and created valuable conversations between our members and startups. But I sincerely believe this is just the beginning. So far, 6 of these have been converted into POCs and collaboration agreements. As an example, in the digital factory, we are evaluating a realistic predictive maintenance scenario with Czech Republic-based Neuron Soundware. Neuron Soundware minimizes machine downtime with precise sound-based early failure detection. And our aim with the POC is to achieve established AI-based predictive models, and we expect more to come in the very near future, I can say.
Yeah, we have in our expo today, we have some POC videos that will be showing our audience, so don't miss it. They are all very impressive, and I'm looking forward to next year's expo already. Gökhan Bey, we have started working with you more recently, but the energy and commitment of your organization has gained top points from all of us. Have you already started observing some changes? Do you see, how has your experience been with Plug and Play so far?
Well, that's true. We just started. We signed the agreement, I think, in March 2021, so it's quite recent. And if you consider the difficulties of this period, COVID-related particularly, probably we could have performed much better. However, before joining to this meeting, I just looked at some numbers. So let me just give you a few numbers that will probably give you a better sense of the progress we made even in this very short time of period. So 130 startups were introduced by Plug and Play. We selected 53 of them. We had 18 meetings. 3 NDAs were signed in this period. We did 2 deal flows. I participated to one of them, and I was very impressed because not just only we met with startups from Turkey or from the neighboring countries, but we met with companies from other parts of the world. That was very interesting, especially for me. So 2 deal flows, 1 collaboration, and 6 focus week activities. So, and just consider that we are just warming up. So I do believe that 2022 will be a much more intensive year in that regard, as we mutually have huge expectations. I think we are on the right track, and I'm personally very happy, given that we had quite a good progress in this rather short time of period. So I think it's going very well on our side.
Thank you for your kind words to both Özgür Bey and Gökhan Bey. I totally agree with you. I think we've done a great job in a short period of time, and that's only the warm-up period. More to come. So again, looking forward to 2022, the next year's Expo, actually. Said, again, you're the most experienced person with working with Plug and Play here. So in light of your experience, any comments or pointers to two of our founding anchor partners on how to make the most of their partnership with Plug and Play?
Wonderful. You know, I really commend Aygaz to be sort of open-minded initially, to have that internal innovation or entrepreneurship. But as you mentioned, you need to be open-minded with external innovation as well. And it all starts with the culture and mindset that you are willing to change, willing to improve. If I may, you mentioned some numbers. In 2021, we had 15 new unicorns in Plug and Play. And we really are looking forward to having unicorns in our platform from Turkey. To give you an example, one of the unicorn is Shippo, is a shipping platform that sits on top of all the other shipping companies, may it be ocean, air, parcel. And these two ladies who started Shippo came to Plug and Play, and we little bit funded them, but also we connected them to clients and corporations who could experience their innovation platform. Again, we have a company called the Flutterwave out of Nigeria, Africa, that after studying in Berkeley, the founder said, I would like to go back to Africa because these gig workers, there is no infrastructure to pay them. This is Uber drivers, technical workers. And now Flutterwave have become the largest payment platform in Africa. And I believe that improves the economy, that improves jobs. We had a new unicorn in Brazil called CloudWalk, which is a payment infrastructure for 300,000 small stores. So they give a POS system to a small store, and the POS system is used for purchasing product, selling products, payment. And again, I mean, like, we are very lucky and very proud of being part of these entrepreneurs' journey in Brazil, in Africa, in US. And this is exactly what we hope to do in Turkey, but we really need clients. We need MESS members. We need Aygaz. If you have a right AI technology or right any sort of solution, if you cannot apply it to a real business, it's just the R&D project. So this is really what we hope to do with the new founding members of Plug and Play, you know, to be able to make an impact. And as Özgür mentioned, we really need to grow with sustainability in mind. It's not anymore good to have. We must have a cleaner environment, cleaner ocean. And I still would like my food and my product packaged well, but then we just have to make sure it doesn't get into the oceans. But again, with MEXT, with Aygaz, with the number of other cooperation in Turkey, this is just the beginning of our journey, and we really look forward to a great future together. And a couple of unicorns from Turkey, I must say. I need some of those.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, hopefully not too long left. We share the same sentiment with you. I'm sure, Gökhan Bey and Özgür Bey agree. It's amazing to talk to all of you, but in the interest of time, I'm going to have to ask you my last question. I mean, we can talk for hours, for days, and I definitely don't want to give up talking to you since I found you. But unfortunately, we have to stop it here. And my last question will be actually looking at the future. I mean, Özgür Bey, what does the future hold for you? What are your digital transformation plans like? What do you think is going to happen next?
Thank you, Lale. MEXT will continue to serve a pioneer of digital transformation, not only in the metal industry, but also in all other industries in the country. And Said just mentioned, we are even starting to impact the geographical region in which we operate. Our main goal is to introduce the newest, most affordable, and as the phrase goes, plug and play technologies to our member. And this links nicely with our partnership with the real plug and play. And I look forward to seeing what the future holds for our partnership with the valuable plug and play organization. And I'm fully hopeful about the future, not only the near future, but also the long-term future as well.
Definitely, we're looking forward to it as well. Gökhan Bey, how about you? What's next for you? What's next for Aygaz?
Well, we have a very clear strategy for the next 5 to 10 years. We are investing in Southeast Asia, Bangladesh.
Gökhan Bey, if you could just be a little closer to the microphone.
Yeah. Sorry. We are investing in Bangladesh, which is the largest growing LPG market in the world for the last 3 years. And we are going to actually copy or already very successful model that worked in Turkey for 60 years. And Bangladesh is pretty much at the level of Turkey that was 40, 50 years ago. So we don't need to rediscover things. And we have great partners there. And not just in LPG, but in other areas that we operate in Turkey, also we are focusing in Bangladesh, for instance, end-to-end delivery. It doesn't exist over there, but I think that gives us a huge opportunity. In Turkey, we need to be more and more efficient. We need to make better use of the platform that I just talked about. So we will use this platform to deliver bottles. That's something we talked when Said and we visited our offices in Istanbul. Said mentioned that the water delivery is very similar to propane bottle delivery. Exactly. That's why we are there. We know how to deliver to homes. This is our core competency. I mean, people say, why enter to parcel delivery? It's not parcel, it's the service. And this is what we are good at it, right? So those are the areas we will focus on. You know, as Groupe, we aim always to be best at what we do. And this is an area that we need to excel, and will get there through particularly innovation and startups. So we cannot do it all alone. So that's why our partnership will give huge opportunities to our Senseye division, and they are already started benefiting from it. So I'm also very hopeful about the future. There is no reason to be concerned about anything. We have very strong young people that are very eager to achieve. So I'm also very optimistic about not just our business, but about the country, about the world in general.
Great to hear that. Yeah, thank you so much. Said, anything you'd like to add?
Sorry, this is the technology from Silicon Valley. My internet was a thing, but I totally agree. We are very proud of working with great companies like Nike, Coca-Cola. I mentioned Ford and Mercedes. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're in banking, insurance, we feel the digital transformation and the world is moving so fast that you need to combine internal R&D with external R&D or innovation to move faster. And again, we invite all of the startups in Turkey, all of the industrial group in Turkey to join us in this platform so we can make a better future for everyone, as well as, I must admit, we also like to create value and have a profit. Very soon, hopefully with MEXT and Aygaz, we will co-invest in startups and make them become a global companies, similar to Google or Facebook or Uber. That would be my view, or Airbnb is okay too with me. But we look forward to really working with everyone in the Istanbul and Turkey and the region to go on this journey together. And it's really, really great to be here. And I really would look forward to being in person with you soon.
We look forward to hosting you here as well, Said. Come back to Istanbul soon. Again, thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. Well, this is the end of our first panel today. We have discussed the importance of corporate startup partnerships and MEXT and Aygaz's journey with Plug and Play so far. Again, thank you for being an inspiration to me personally and to the audience.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now. Thank you. We have our customer testimonial videos. Yes. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I shall be back later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elif Gözen. I work as a partner success manager at Plug and Play Istanbul. 2021 was our first year in Istanbul, and it was very exciting one for us. We work hard and already created some success stories in such a short time. We will make sure to have an even better year this year. We step into the Turkish market with MEXT, our first founding partner in Istanbul Mobility IoT vertical, and added Aygaz as the next founding partner here. In November, we became much more stronger with Otokoç, who joined us as an ecosystem partner. Let's see how our partners, MEXT, Aygaz, and Otokoç, in that order, evaluate our work so far.
MEXT, being the world's largest digital transformation and capability building center, has an extensive ecosystem. We have more than 50 local and global partners through which we deliver our services. Our ultimate goal is to support MESS members and the Turkish industry in their digital transformation journey by providing technical consultancy through maturity assessments, extended digital transformation training programs, and of course our digital factory, where we have developed more than 140 use cases until now. Of course, Plug and Play has an essential role within this ecosystem. We've launched our partnership in January 2021 and already delivered 2 successful acceleration programs in Turkey. This partnership serves in 2 main areas to support MEXT's goal in the long run. The first one is to take ownership of global open innovation in the country and bring in the latest technology and the startups to Turkey to have pilot projects with the Turkish industry. And of course, the second one is to create chances for local startups in the global arena for being visible and develop business opportunities. In return for this, by MEXT playing the leading role and partnering with Plug and Play has entered the Turkish entrepreneur ecosystem, and for the last 2 years, we together have succeeded to reach out to many of our members and the Turkish industry. Through our 2 acceleration programs and 6 different focus weeks in 2021, we managed to have more than 200 one-to-one interactions between our members and the startups, where some of them has already led to POC arrangements. For example, Groupe Atlantic has partnered up with FlipApp to overcome their internal communication problem within their different departments. On the other side, Aygaz, for example, has partnered up with Loop 3D to start using their 3D printers within their factories. Also, as MEXT, we have started the POC processes with startups from Plug and Play ecosystem such as Neuron Soundware, Litmus and Intenseye in our own digital factory.
Our partnership with Plug and Play is playing a key role to bring the newest startups to the use of the Turkish manufacturers. Here, we work together with the startups to try and test their solutions. Thanks to our competent technical team, we execute flawless and frictionless proof of concept studies just in a couple of days. It's a great opportunity for them to get expert feedback from the real industrial users and optimize their offerings. There are 3 companies from Focus Week events who already deployed their solutions in the digital factory. Upon completion of a successful POC, they will have the chance to get high visibility during visits, engagement opportunities and exposure to C-level executives and end users. One startup company is already reaching out to the whole Turkish industry to grow and to scale.
As closing remarks, Plug and Play is one of the world's largest entrepreneurship ecosystems with more than 40,000 startup pool. We are glad to be partnering with them in the fields of mobility, IoT, new materials, logistics and energy. It was a wise decision from our point of view to play a leading role to bring Plug and Play into Turkey. We are looking forward to developing more opportunities to our members and the Turkish industry together with the Plug and Play team.
Bizim için inovasyon günlük yaşamın bir parçasıdır. Bugün dün yaptığımız işi daha farklı yapabilmek için ne düşünmemiz lazım sorusunun cevabıdır. İnovasyonu sadece büyük buluşların, bilinmeyen teknolojilerin keşfi olarak görmüyoruz. Düne göre daha iyi yapabileceğimiz her şey olarak görüyoruz. Otokoç topluluğunun ve Türkiye'nin en değerli şirketlerinden biri olarak Aygaz her zaman yeniliği temsil etmiştir. Kurulduğu günden beri pazarı şekillendiren, geleceği kurgulayan bir şirket olduk. Her zaman daha iyinin peşinden koştuk.
Aygaz olarak yenilikçi yaklaşımımız ve sürdürülebilir büyüme odağımız ile hem mevcut iş süreçlerimizi geliştirme hem de yeni iş alanlarına girme hedefleriyle çalışmaktayız. Bu bakış açısıyla MEXT ile işbirliği kapsamında Silikon Vadisi'ndeki girişimler ve şirketler için en büyük küresel inovasyon platformu olan Plug and Play ile işbirliğine 2021 yılı Mart ayında Aygaz olarak imza attık. Aygaz'ın stratejik öncelikleri ve hedefleri ile uyumlu olan girişimler ile işbirliği fırsatlarını sürekli olarak değerlendiriyorduk. Ancak Plug and Play ile birlikte erişim ağımız zenginleşti ve daha sistematik hale geldi. Plug and Play işbirliğimiz sayesinde sadece Avrupa ve Amerika'daki değil, dünyanın dört bir yanındaki farklı girişimler ile irtibat ağımızı geliştirerek şirketimize ve ülkemize katma değer sağlamaya yönelik etkinliğimizi arttırdık.
Startuplarla çalışmanın en heyecan verici yanı, yeni ürünler ve teknolojiler hakkında bilgi edinmek ve hedeflerimize ulaşmamıza katkıda bulunup bulunmayacağını görme şansımızın olmasıdır. Kurumsal şirketleri büyük yük gemilerine, startupları da küçük sürat teknelerine benzetmek çok da yanlış olmayacaktır aslında. Problem çözme yaklaşımları, asla pes etmemeleri, yaratıcılıkları, hata toleransları, çeviklikleri, tutkularının peşinden gitmeleri ve bitmeyen özverileriyle startuplardan birçok şey öğreniyoruz. Plug and Play ile olan işbirliğimiz boyunca birçok startupla tanıştık ve görüştük. Bu süreçte öğrendiğimiz en önemli derslerden biri de hedeflerimize ulaşmak için çözümü seçmenin ne kadar önemli olduğuydu. Dünyanın her yerinden yeni teknolojiler ve çözümleri görme şansımız oldu. Startuplarla bir araya geldiğimiz her toplantının bize çok değerli katkıları ve öğretileri oldu. Bu noktada da bize bu fırsatı sunduğu için Plug and Play'e teşekkür etmek isterim.
Dijital dönüşüm programını müşteri, akıllı lojistik, otonom üretim, akıllı ürünler, analitik satış yönetimi ve dijital çalışan inisiyatifleri altında sürdürüyoruz. Müşterilerimizin dijital deneyimini artırarak onlara daha da yakın bir şirket olmak ve iş yapış biçimimizi dönüştürmek hedeflerimizin başında geliyor. Plug and Play, nesnelerin interneti, sürdürülebilirlik, akıllı şehirler gibi çok çeşitli programlar ile birlikte tüm dünyadaki girişimlere kolaylıkla ve hızlı bir şekilde erişim imkanı sunuyor.
Eğer ki siz de dünyadaki inovasyon ekosistemine bir kapı aralamak isterseniz şüphesiz ki bu konudaki en iyi partneriniz Plug and Play olacaktır.
We as Otokoç Automotive, Turkey's leading automotive retailer, car rental and car sharing company. We offer mobility solutions. Our automotive retail brands are Otokoç, Bimot, Otokoç Sigorta, Insurance, Otokoç Parta, Spare Parts, Otokoç ikinci el, used car sales, and Lastik, car rental. And our car rental and car sharing brands are Avis Float, Budget, Zipcar, Payless. We are based in Turkey and we provide services in 8 other countries, which are Greece, Ukraine, Hungary, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Northern Cyprus, and Northern Iraq. We are a proud member of Koç Groupe, Turkey's largest and industrial services group.
As Otokoç, we position innovation in the middle of our growth strategy. We aim to develop new business models, products, and services over our entrepreneurship program and open innovation activities. Customers' problems and needs are trigger point of our innovation process. The key points of our innovation approach: doing fast, failing fast, and learning fast.
Our partnership with Plug and Play began in October 2021 through our collaboration with MEXT.
As Otokoç Automotive, our priorities are improving our digital structure with mobility-based data management solutions, enhancing our omni-channel experience, and increasing the efficiency of our processes. Also, we are expecting to expand our investment collaboration strategies with Plug and Play's global startup network. We are looking forward to work with you.
I would like to thank our corporate partners for their testimonials and say that it has been a pleasure to work together. Well, it's time for our first keynote speaker, Susana Quintan Plaza. Susana is one of the strongest and smartest women I have met. She has first-hand experience of working with Plug and Play. It's not easy to talk about her in the few minutes time limit I have currently, but I will try. She's an energy and clean tech advisor, an investor, and a board member. She's an experienced C-level executive in energy and battery value chain. Susana began her career at the Boeing Commercial Airplane Group in Seattle, where she held several positions. After her MBA, she joined Booz Allen Hamilton in London before moving to General Electric and then to E.ON. In 2012, she launched the venture capital activities for the E.ON Group, and in 2014, she was promoted to Global Senior Vice President of Technology and Innovation, a role she held until 2016. After that, she moved to Next 47, the corporate venture capital arm of Siemens, as a partner. Susana holds a bachelor degree and master's in aeronautical engineering from the University of Washington. She also holds an MBA from Harvard Business School. Today, Susana is here to share her experience of working with startups. She's a true believer in corporate startup partnerships, and here she is to explain to you her reasons.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to this event. I hope you all enjoy the event immensely, and I have my best wishes for the startups that have joined. That you have to be very, very entrepreneurial, very brave to go into what you guys are doing. So congratulations to those ones graduating, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to present at the event. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Susana Quintana. I have been working in corporate venture, corporate innovation, and launching new business for organizations for the last 10, 15 years of my life. And I would like to tell you what are my 10 commandments, the 10 rules by which I always obey to, so we can create something that is sustainable and something that you are proud of. But let me start by giving you a little bit of information about me and my background, especially the last 10 years that I've been working on this. I'm an aerospace engineer by education. I happen to be studying and working in Seattle in the 90s and the early 2000s. I don't know if you know Seattle then in the 90s, but at that time it was even hotter than Silicon Valley. Microsoft was no longer a startup, but probably the most admired company in the world at the moment. But there were companies like Amazon, Expedia, Adobe that were just starting. I remember a friend of mine saying that they were joining this new startup called Amazon. And then I was working for Boeing, great company, but where nothing had really changed in the last 40 years. No, the airplanes were looking exactly the same way as they were looking in the 1960s. So I decided aerospace was not for me, and I decided to do an MBA and then come back to Europe. Long story short, did my MBA at Harvard, then I went to work in consulting, and then I ended up in a company called E.ON, great company. At that time was the most valued company in Europe, but definitely not the most innovative. Even more, I remember the CEO telling me at some point, the number one thing that I learned from my mentor is not to be too innovative as a utility. So what happened? This is the most valuable company in Europe at that time, in a year or so, had his 3 cash cows dead or going into life support. So long-term gas contracts with Russia went underwater, partially due to shale gas that we were not taking into consideration. The nuclear power plants were supposed to be phased out. Fine, that one you can say was a political decision. But the conventional generation was not running because there were too many renewables in the system. And I guess we had not done a good job at taking that into account. So a new department was started called Technology and Innovation. I have to say I had great bosses there, really people I immensely admire. And my first job was, Susana, go out there and tell us what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years from now. And I told them, look, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years from now, but I know there's a lot of startups, there's a lot of companies out there who have the agility, the capability to deliver, the innovation, the product, but we have the access to the market. So first thing I did is create a venture capital activity where we will invest on those companies that we were trying to help into the market. And you will hear me this topic over and over again as we go through the 10 commandments. When my boss left, I was made Senior Vice President of Technology and Innovation. And I can tell you that a Spanish woman with a thick accent and a lot younger at that point does not make it to Senior Vice President in a German utility unless you have the liver. After that, I went to Next47, the venture arm of Siemens. And in the last 2 years, or 2 years and a half, I had been running renewable and new business for Gulp as a Chief Operating Officer. In only 2 years, I built renewable teams from scratch, from 18 megas and 2 people to 60 people and growing on 4.5 gigas in Europe and Latin America. I built a decentralized energy team that literally from PowerPoint in 18 months, they were doing 5.5 million revenues. And one thing I'm very proud of, lithium refining. So we created a joint venture with Northvolt to place in Europe the early stages of the battery value chain. Was happy, very, very happy until a veteran with 40 years, upstream oil and gas, and Shell thought that I was too fast, too innovative, and that I was not the type of leader he wanted for his team. It was a shock, I can imagine, but I think this is something that all of us into innovation, we have to be ready for, especially in very conservative companies. Innovation teams by definition, think different, act different, try to change things, try to shake the boat. And when you try and come across very conservative management, so obviously, no, they don't like it. They don't like it, and they like people who keep the status quo. So that's the bad part. The good part is that today you're going to get a completely unedited version about what I believe about corporate venture, corporate innovation, how to work with the startups without any of the, editing for politically correctness that usually the communications teams of the companies I work for do. So let's get started with the 10 commandments. I was trying to share them. Let me try very quickly. If it doesn't work, I won't try it anymore. No, impossible. So I think I will go one by one and try to speak slowly so you guys know what they are. Number one, do not reinvent the wheel. Do not spend a lot of time trying to build what other ones have already built. Even if you have the smartest team in the world, you're surrounded by a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of reporting, a lot of approvals, a lot of rules for hiring. This will not allow you to go as fast as other teams that they're in a completely different environment where they can make decisions fast and don't have to go through what a corporation has to do. On top of that, when a startup has a product, the product is not just what you see. Behind that, there is hundreds or thousands of millions of hours of this startup, of these entrepreneurs, working in the product, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, rebuilding. So that's a lot of important things that go into the product design and the future roadmap. And sometimes you may say, why they didn't do that? Probably they had a good reason. Probably they tried and it didn't work. And this is very important to me. I have to say, in 2 occasions, I had the CEO of one of the companies I was working for trying to replicate the product of the companies that I had invested on. And as you can imagine, I was quite mad about it. I was not happy about it. But looking back, it was very stupid for me to be mad about it. More than 6-7 years later, nothing had happened. So a lot of corporations think they can reinvent what the startups have to, but the reality of the day is quite different. So work with plug and play, with other venture firms. Make sure that you learn from them, learn what is in the market, learn what innovation is coming into the market. Make sure that you partner with those startups where you can help them and they can help them. And I'll tell you one thing, the best investments I have done were those ones I was not looking for. When I went to a company and I said, I need a solution for this problem, so this is what I want. And the answer was, that's nice, but that's not what we are building. We are building something that at the end I realized it was better. So the beauty of working with companies like Plug and Play is you can learn a lot from them. Of course, startups can learn from you, but you can learn a lot from them and start seeing things in a different way. Second, focus on market access. I said it before. The startups have the innovation, the agility, the product. You have the access to the market. So you may have heard many times what they call the valley of death, when the startup fails to scale. If you manage to build a bridge to avoid that valley of death, if you are able to work with the startups to give them market access, you win and they will win. You will be the first one with the innovative products in the market, and they will create a bigger market share and become successful, and you as an investor will become successful as well. So I'll give you an example. At E.ON, we invested in a company called O-Power. O-Power was a company that was doing customer engagement for utility customers. We brought them into the UK market. They were a purely US-based company, and we gave them 5 million customers. So when they IPO, a very big part of their story, a very big part of what their IPO story is we are not only an American firm, we are an international firm, and it was a success for them. For us, it was also a huge success. Before that, no one at E.ON had pronounced the 2 words customer success. We were a typical utility where the customer was irrelevant. With that, we increased our NPS score. The whole company moved their focus to make sure customer engagement, NPS scores, and that we started to reduce churn and be more engaged with our customers. So honestly, it was a perfect example of win-win situation. Third one, to work with scale-ups. It's very important that you work for scale-ups for 2 reasons. One of them is, I already said it in the first part, your major role where you add more value to the startup is in the market access. And if you are in a company that is still in the seed investment phase, the company still is not ready to scale in the market. They're still developing the product, they're still developing the team. So also you will have the issue that I'm sure your engineering and commercial teams will try to tell this startup what to do. They will try to build something for them. But a successful startup is not the one who builds something for you. It's one who builds something for the market. So if you start, switching this startup very early stage teams to do what you want, you will end up on a product for you that will not be scalable. It will probably end up being a stranded product while your other competitors are probably following the market with a standard product. Second is also because of your colleagues. You need to show them something that scares them. If you show them a team of very smart people working in a garage, they will not take you serious. If you show them a company that has operations, a factory, a product that they see physically, and they see that it's competing directly with them, they will take it serious and they will try to collaborate with them, not to lose time to market. And last but not least, I think corporates, at least I am not the best one to identify early stage teams. You have companies exactly like Plug and Play who are outstanding about that, about seeing what are these entrepreneurs that are going to succeed, give them the tools to be successful, and make them launch and start their products. We can much better later on. Later on, when they have already proven the product on A or B, then we can help them scale to C, D, E, F, or whatever continent you want. Now, let me say one thing that maybe is contradictory to the other ones, is to work on pilots with startups, but please do not kill by pilot. What do I mean with that? So at Groupe we call it death by pilot. So it's good. It's very helpful if you work with early stage startups. I'm sure you all have been working with them now during these last few weeks, because you give them knowledge about the market, you give them market access also to test things in the real life, and that's very handy for them. You also can give them the brand of the credibility. But please do one pilot, set up very clear KPIs, and then decide whether you want to continue on a commercial contract or not. Do not do a pilot of 6 months and then a pilot of 1 month and then a pilot of 3 months. These startups have very, very limited resources. They have few people and little bit of money. Any minute they spend working with you is minute that they are not working with somebody who can help them scale. So please, by every means, work with them, learn from them, make them learn from you, but do not just do pilot after pilot after pilot. Also, maybe I am sure that your teams are asking for some kind of exclusivity for work with this startup in the early stage. Tell you one thing, if it's a very early stage startup, if you are giving them access to a market, I think maybe it's fair to have some type of temporary exclusivity for a certain market, a certain area. But if you make the exclusivity too long and too restrictive, again, you're killing the number one thing that will make the startup successful, is market access. If you are limiting the markets where they can play, they will become stranded, they will not scale, and you will not be successful, and they will not be successful. So do pilots, get a little bit of exclusivity to give you a head start, but please do not kill a startup just because of one pilot. Fifth, do focus on quick wins. What do I mean with that again? You have to be very pragmatic on innovation. And this goes both for the corporate teams and for the startups. Do not focus on something that it will take years and years to come to market. Neither the markets, nor the corporations, nor your bosses have patience for that. All markets want very quick games. So there is this thing I used to tell my teams is you have to build the license to operate. Focus, all corporations, all companies, all markets have lots of low-hanging fruits that no one has ever bothered to solve. Focus on those low-hanging fruits. Show something, show quick wins, show that you can deliver. And that will give you the credibility in order to do more crazy things later on or longer term. But if they don't believe that you're somebody who can deliver value fast, they will not give you the time in order to develop more challenging things in the future. 6, to learn, experiment, execute, do not ideate. This may be a little bit controversial. I've seen, but I'll tell you what I mean with do not ideate. It's a bit extreme, but the point is I have seen a lot of corporations and even a lot of startups working in closed rooms on their own world about their own products without really going out to the market understanding what does the market want or doesn't want. I'll give you an example of a company where I was sitting at the board I had invested on. Very smart people. They had taken a patent, very innovative, and they had created a product that could be quite revolutionary. And sitting on the board of that company, and I think after a year, the team comes over with the 20th generation of the product. And to be honest, at that point, I said, okay, let's stop here. Will everybody just hold on for 1 second? We have sold 6 products. Why are you working on the 20th generation of the product? Would you please stop trying to improve something that nobody wants? Doesn't it make more sense that you go to the 6 customers who bought you the product and understand why they bought it? More important than that, go to the 200 who did not want to buy the product and understand why not to. Check if you're focusing on the right market. Check if there is adjacent markets for you to work on. So please, please, please, please stop the product development until you get to understand the real market feedback. They did stop not only because of me, I have to say they were also smart people. And at the end, they ended up understanding that the market they were targeting was, let's say, already occupied by other substitutes. And they switched markets, and actually today they are successful. So for me, the best startups in the world are those ones who focus on executing, on learning from the market and from experimenters, not the ones with the best ideas. Now, another controversial one is how do you say, do marketing to get buy-in, but understand what is marketing and understand what is reality. So what I mean with that, a lot of corporations spend a lot of time doing these hackathons and ideation sessions and all these things, no? And everybody gets very excited and they spend a big part of budget. And I'll tell you one thing, I didn't used to be a big fan of these events because I have never seen anything of huge value coming out of these hackathons or these ideation events. But over time I have learned I was wrong. I'll tell you why. Because by having that attitude, I was alienating my colleagues. I was telling my colleagues, you guys don't know anything about innovation. The ones who know about innovation are these startups, these Silicon Valley guys. And this is, this is not for you. So you know what? I needed these guys in order to have access to the market. So by having that attitude, I was not helping myself. And I always say, effective is not the same as efficient. So, and the purpose here is to be effective, is not to be efficient. So if you have to spend some time, or a lot of time actually, getting buy-in, creating events that make the other people feel part of this journey, it's also very important. So don't focus only on executing, focus also on engaging the rest of your stakeholders to buy your product. And maybe the last one before I go into the last two is it's very important that you have independent central budgets and FTEs. Why is that? All companies, every 2-3 years, they do some budget cuts. And actually, I think that's a good thing because it helps you clean up the waste. What happens if the innovation budget is part of Department A, B, and C? When the CFO goes to Department A, B, and C and says, you have to cut your budget by 5%, guess what is the first budget that gets cut completely? The innovation budget. And guess who are the first people who get put to the side, moved to operational roles, or laid off? The innovation people. What happens if you have Department A, Department B, Department C, and Innovation Department? You will have to cut 5. Maybe they put you more stronger, targets, and you have to cut 10, 20. But there will still be an 80% of innovation people of projects that probably, as I said, it has even helped you focus and reduce the waste and make some tough decisions that will be alive. The other way around, there will be no innovation and there will be nobody to take these things forward. So, and the last two are related to CEOs. And I think this is something that no matter how smart or forward-looking, the CEOs that I work with, all of them told me the same thing. And to tell you the truth, it drives me insane. And so, the first one is what I say, do not integrate the 21st century into the 20th century, by the other way around. But the other way around. What happens here? Whenever you buy a startup, whenever you do a joint venture with a startup, whenever you end up collaborating with a startup, first thing the CEO asks you is, when are we going to integrate this activity into the main company? And my question is again, why would I want to integrate the 21st century into the 20th century? You are working with these people because they have a product, they have a way of working, they have a culture, that has enabled them to be successful in an area where you have not been. So why the first thing you're going to do is try to kill that? I'll tell you, for example, one team that I enjoy immensely working for was E.ON Climate and Renewables, where the CEO of E.ON ring-fenced the renewables team and said, you guys do not obey by the rules of the company, because if you do, you'll be dead in 2 days. So he really ring-fenced us, and the team was extremely successful. In 5 years, they went from 0 to 10 gigas and in a great culture. So please, leave these teams alone. Let these teams develop. Let these teams develop their product, grow, become grown-ups. It's like taking a baby to university. You don't take the baby to university. It's not the baby doesn't have potential. It's the baby has a lot more potential than the university guy. Just needs to be at the right stage. So let them develop, let them grow, and maybe what you end up at the end, and hopefully what you end up at the end, is bringing the old company into the new company. And instead of integrating the new culture, the new processes, and the new teams into the old culture, the old processes, and the old teams, you do it the other way around. And the last one is change management is the job of the CEO. Change management is not your job. Every CEO, when I come into my innovation job, they tell me, Susana, your job is to change this company. I'm like, right? I have to really stop myself from laughing. I'm like, okay. So Susana with her 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people team is supposed to change this company, while you and all your colleagues continue doing the same things the same way, investing in the same areas, with the same processes, with the same approvals, with the same culture. It is my job. No, sorry, honey. It is your job to do the change management. My job is to plant the seeds for when the change management comes, we can deliver on these new products, new culture, and new work, but not the other way around. And by the way, change management is exactly that. Change the management. So your job, our job, my job is to plant the seeds, to create the environment where you will be able to grow these new ventures once the change management happens. And let me just close by telling you that there's something that the new CEO of E.ON said a long time ago. He's been now the CEO for like a year. And he said at some point, the venture team has done more to change the strategy of this company than any team in the history of E.ON. So the innovation team created these new businesses that today they are core to E.ON, and today are key areas from smart grid to batteries to customer solutions, decentralized energy, that we created, we planted the seeds, and when the change management has happened, these things have built into real business and are becoming core to what E.ON does today. I hope you guys saw some wisdom out of my 10 commandments. I hope you enjoy them, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the event, and all the best for the startups that you guys have a lot of guts to be doing what you're doing, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Susana, for your inspirational words on startup corporate collaboration. And moving on to our next keynote speech, we have our dear colleague, Omeed Mehrinfar. Omeed is the co-head and managing director of the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region at Plug and Play. He now lives in Paris with his family, but he started with Plug and Play in Silicon Valley at its very early days. He's one of the engineers of our rapid growth in the EMEA region, and he has seen our firm evolve from a few people in a single office to a global brand with 40 offices from all around the world. Without further ado, I now lead the stage to Omeed, as he would like to welcome you and share with you some of his own experience.
Lale, thank you so much for having me today, and I'm incredibly humbled and excited to be a part of our inaugural Istanbul Expo Day, specifically focused on mobility and IoT, two of our most mature and advanced divisions here at Plug and Play. A bit about myself, I oversee, and Lale touched on this, our Europe, Middle East, Africa operations for Plug and Play as a co-head and MD of EMEA. I've been fortunate enough to be entrusted by our CEO and founder into this role about 2 years ago. And what's incredible about kind of having sat in this role and being involved with our expansion in the region for the last 6 years is where we were 8 years ago when I joined the company. Primarily as Plug and Play, we were bringing the world to California by virtue of all the entrepreneurial talent from around the world that would cluster there. And our primary focuses are through our corporate innovation platforms, our accelerator programs, and of course, our venture capital practice. And all the corporations and government bodies wanted to get exposure to the Silicon Valley. But given the visions that he has, our CEO and founder, Saeed Namidi, was able to put together that many of our clients were starting to want to localize, as the concept of Silicon Valley was no longer a geography, but a mindset. And what we started to see was an incredible expansion of ecosystems around the world where entrepreneurial talent could now be nurtured in their locale and still get global business opportunities or become globally recognized brands. And it's a beautiful thing to have witnessed, because as part of that, let's say, strategy plan, we expanded aggressively starting around 2015 into the Europe, Middle East, Africa region, as well as other regions, including APAC, SEA. And having started with a humble team of about, I'd say, under 8 people between France and Germany, today, Plug and Play, Europe, Middle East, Africa, has over 205 staff across 21 offices, with just in 2022, an additional 8 to 9 offices anticipated to launch in the coming months. Our growth has been tremendous, and more than working with 205 incredible professionals in Plug and Play, we also have the opportunity to work with over 160 incredible partners, ranging from international brand names such as Adidas, Nike, BNP Paribas, Deutsche Bank, UniCredit, to even food brands or cosmetics brands like L'Oreal's, to, of course, our local key partnerships with the likes of MESS. And the excitement about it all is the traction we've managed to see with the likes of MESS and Aygaz, and what we see in terms of the pulse of the market as it pertains to the appetite to innovate, to co-create, to develop and nurture ecosystems is something incredibly exciting that we anticipate to continue growing for years to come. And as it pertains to what we have been doing, or what we have been seeing from a trend standpoint with our clients, is that 4 to 5 years ago, many of our clients were very much focused on incubators, accelerator programs to meet new companies. And over the years, what has happened and what has become beautiful is that our clients are starting to develop, mature, and advance as though they are a later stage company or startup as well, from the standpoint of creating new frameworks and new approaches to tackling innovation, which we have been fortunate enough to continue to support them. Whether it's supporting on project management and helping embed pilots, POCs, and even integrations in the organizations, to supporting them in the development of their CVC as a service, whereby we actually support these corporations in scouting for strategic investment opportunities, not just in their locale, but leveraging our global footprint to get key investments from around the world to support their investment thesis. To even supporting ecosystem building by bringing in key stakeholders from around the ecosystem to contribute to developing, nurturing, and aligning on a singular narrative that can help empower the local ecosystem, as we are doing right now in Turkey and as we've done many times before in other ecosystems. To even supporting on developing and co-creating regulatory frameworks. This is something we've been working on extensively in emerging market countries, where we work with regulatory bodies in developing frameworks, in developing regulations, SME laws, and creating and advocating for streamlined methods of engagement to empower the local entrepreneurial ecosystem, and to also create an appetite to bring in foreign startups to want to localize and have a based presence in that new geography for business and funding opportunities. And as for the opportunity for entrepreneurs, as I touched on earlier, while Silicon Valley is Silicon Valley, there is today more than ever unprecedented access to funding, whether it's by virtue of family offices, traditional VCs, or even CVCs. And not just local players, but international players more aggressively than ever looking for investment opportunities in markets such as Turkey, where there's a high level of education relative to many other countries in the world, high level of talent, but also critical mass of population of 80 million people. And more than that, the strategic positioning of why we as Plug and Play love our presence in Turkey is the strategic positioning. It enables us to maintain tying in the East and the West, our Middle Eastern presence and operations between the GCC North Africa with our European engagements, and the cultural ties that really help us use it as a channel that can connect the two cultures. And more than that, the funding opportunities. While we are seeing a pickup in M&A activity, for example, with Zynga in Turkey, we're also seeing VC funding where the likes of Sequoia, Tiger Global Management are starting to really aggressively look at the region for investment opportunities. All of a sudden, funding sizes are starting to compete more and more with the Silicon Valley funding rounds. This is a huge opportunity to not just nurture new technologies and entrepreneurial spirit, but to also develop and nurture a whole new wave of talent, a whole new wave of wealth generation that can really contribute to the economy. And we as Plug and Play hope to be a very tiny part of that story. As we continue to expand our operations, we hope to be a resource to the startups to further support their growth and their development. And we hope to be a tiny part of the narrative to contribute to Istanbul and Turkey's vision and ambitions to continue growing into becoming a globally recognized player in the entrepreneurship, startup, venture capital, and digital transformation domains. Once again, my name is Omeed Mehrinfar. To our government clients, to our corporate partners, and to our startups, I really look forward to meeting you more so in person in the coming months during a visit. And in the meantime, I'll leave you in the best hands with Lale. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Omeed. Always a pleasure to see you. Our next keynote speaker is Tim Smith, Experience Director at Original Experience Maker NewTerritory based in London. He is a designer, speaker, and author with a focus on human-to-whatever interaction, as he calls it. He has designed everything from weird and wonderful interactive packaging for PlayStation to in-car HMIs for Ford and Volkswagen, to Science Museum gestural interactives and Tate modern digital art installations to Samsung smartphones, smart TVs, and smart fridges. More recently, Tim has been studying, exploring, and designing for human behavior in how people move through physical spaces.
whether by car, by public transport, or by foot. This includes mobility in and around the car, autonomous vehicles, transportation services, consumer airline experiences, and even pedestrian mobility access. In 2015, he founded Us2 Auto, the auto and mobility division of Digital Product Studio. And in 2016, he wrote an industry-inspiring book on in-car HMI design, which has directly influenced the in-car HMIs of today. Well, the follow-up title, the first book ever released on UX design for autonomous vehicles, Humanizing Autonomy, Where Are We Going?, released in 2018, which was incorporated into the work of Apple Car and Google's Waymo, among others. In 2018, Tim was recognized by BIMA as one of the top 100 influencers in UK digital design, and in 2019, he was elected onto the board of directors at Wayfinder, an award-winning social tech nonprofit with ambitions to help the world's 285 million blind people navigate indoor environments independently. Oh, and Tim has a collection of over 6,000 toy cars and growing. His new book on the subject, Micro But Many, released in April 2020, if you're interested in that. Today, Tim will talk about the latest design and experience trends in mobility and IoT.
Thanks, Lola, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Tim. I'm the Experience Director at NewTerritory. Thank you very much to Plug and Play for inviting me to give a keynote speak at this expo in Istanbul. Sad not to be able to visit Istanbul in person. I'm stuck here in London thanks to COVID, but it's a pleasure to be able to give you this keynote speech from here in London. My talk today is about what we call original experience makers. Now, before I get on to what that is, I'd just like to introduce NewTerritory to you all. NewTerritory is a design agency based in London, and we actually blend the digital and physical so that we can create original experiences for people, planet, and profit. And we exist to unlock people's creativity so that we can solve complex problems and create positive change. So we have a diverse group of people here with an even more diverse skill set. So we have everyone from industrial designers, color material finish experts, strategists, researchers, creative technologists, digital designers, and so on. I actually head up the digital design and creative technology side of the business, and I work very closely with the physical engineers and the industrial designers to make sure that we blend both the physical and digital into one compelling original experience. And the way we do that is that first of all, we map and understand the problem. So for example, if we wanted to do a retail experience, we'd make sure that we understand the complete journey from approaching the retail space, entering, shopping, checkout, and post-purchase. We also makes, of course, so we start designing and building and prototyping potential solutions or experiences within those stories. And move. This is what we do in order to help organizations change to be able to deliver products or experiences in a world where social trends are changing, consumer habits are changing, industries are being disrupted. So we make sure that we work with our clients so that organizationally they're able to grow and develop and deliver on some of these new challenges that we face in the world. And here's a smorgasbord of clients that we work for, everything from rail to automotive to aviation, consumer technologies, and so on. So I'll begin with the crux of my talk. And first, as I mentioned earlier, shifting industries and consumer habits is something that we're facing more and more, and we're working with more and more for our clients. And so I'd just like to discuss some of the things that we're experiencing as NewTerritory. So we'll take the automotive example. Is once upon a time, the automobile, the car, was a commodity, somewhat of a status symbol. But you'll notice with the newer generation of consumers that it's less about the commodity. It's more about the experience within. You know, does it have your Apple or Android connectivity? What are the infotainment experiences like, and so on? And even ownership itself is being somewhat challenged. People are opting for the sharing economy. Rather than owning a vehicle, they prefer to subscribe to a service which enables their mobility. And quite often there's a cognizance around environmental impact and the carbon footprint. There's I think something like £1 trillion spent every year from consumers making environmentally friendly choices. And we actually worked on this product, the Eve, which is an electrified scooter that helps micro-mobility, last mile delivery within cities. So we created this product with this kind of sustainable approach, not just for the consumer, but also for B2B services as well, who want to have a better social impact, environmental impact as well. And when it comes to using these pieces of transport, it's less about the vehicle itself and it's more about the experience within. So one example I always give is, in your last taxi ride, you'll probably remember that it was an Uber, but do you remember the make of the vehicle? Likewise, in a flight that you last had, you will probably remember that it was a Delta flight, but do you remember the name of the model of the aeroplane? The answer is normally no, and it's because it's the experience that we care about, less so the equipment. So original equipment makers might want to consider themselves to be more of original experience makers. So that's what I would, how I would describe the importance of considering the experience more so than the equipment. The equipment is part of the experience, but there's a far more layers and considerations that go into a compelling brand proposition. So original experience makers, that's us, that's what we do, that's what we deliver. But how, what do we do? Well, first of all, to create an original experience, you must consider both the functional and emotional. So when I say functional, it's, can I get from A to B? Will I be there on time? Will I be at my location, correct location? The emotional side of it is, do I feel comfortable? Do I feel safe? It's the feeling side of things. And using both of those lenses is absolutely vital for creating a good original experience. I'll give you an example of where there's been one without the other. So if you consider this London bus, and the way in which wheelchair users board the bus is via a ramp. Now this ramp extends from the rear side of the bus, the rear doors, which actually for people on board the bus, that's the door that they exit. And for people who can walk to the bus, they will board at the front of the bus. So functionally speaking, this bus is accessible to wheelchair users because there is a ramp that enables them to board via the door. However, emotionally, it's less accessible because there's some segregation going on. Able-bodied people will enter the front of the bus and wheelchair users enter at the rear of the bus. So you can see how it's not discrete. And it's somewhat discriminatory and it segregates them. If you were to design this with both a functional and an emotional lens, you might consider something like this, where both able-bodied people and wheelchair users can get to the top of this platform in the same way. There's no segregation as such, and it's completely discrete. And we can also use a multi-sensory innovation framework that we've started working with. When it comes to creating experiences, there's more to it than sight and sound. I think a lot of digital experiences and even physical experiences and products, the sight and the sound seems to be the only things that are considered. You know, what does it look like? How does it sound? And so on. But of course, there's many other senses that we have as human beings, and we have sort of three categories of senses. There's the remote senses. Those are senses that will passively approach your being. So that's sight, sound, and scent. And then there's tactile. That's where you have to proactively engage with an object to taste or touch it. And then there's the cognitive group. How do you think about it and how do you feel about it? So once we understand the whole gamut of human senses, we can actually start plotting them against a journey. So I've just got a very rudimentary train journey here. You have the pre-journey, the journey itself, the post-journey, and any auxiliary things such as booking the tickets or purchasing a beverage. What we can do in each of these boxes is design a key moment or an experience with all of the senses in mind. So what might you hear and see is one thing. What might you smell? What could you taste and touch? How do you want to think and feel? And this can apply to any experience, not just rail. You know, for example, what about automotive? We can split it into not just moments along the journey, but also personas or user needs. So in the automotive example, we have a driver and a passenger. And for both of those, you have the pre-drive, you have the drive, the post-drive, and again, auxiliary. And what we can do actually on top of this is add some of the regulatory requirements that come with something like automotive experiences. So here we've split the cognitive affordance into three taxonomies. So there's primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary means that we can have the entire focus of that user's sense, for example, sight or smell. Secondary is somewhat dissipated. They might be distracted by the drive. And tertiary is do not engage the user because they are driving. So if I just take some examples here on the driver side, pre-drive with sight, yep, you can give them lots of visual stimulus. Likewise with sound. Scent you can as well, but that's less explored. Taste, I mean, what do you taste when you start a car? Probably nothing, but potential there perhaps. Touch, thought and feeling. But then you'll see in the drive, you know, almost everything is turned off because they're actually, especially when it comes to sight and thought, that needs to be completely on the drive. So we wouldn't engage any experiential qualities to them in that sense. When it comes to the passenger, for example, much different. They're not driving. And so we can give them, you know, richer experiences, richer multisensory experiences, because their cognitive affordance is quite high. It's not being taken away by the driving. And we think about this in a contextual sense and a holistic contextual sense. So there's experiences that are afforded on your sofa at home that you won't be able to get in the car, and vice versa. So whenever we design for any space, whether it's, you know, the living room or the car, we make sure that we understand all the parameters, restrictions, but also opportunities that that context affords. One example I could give here is in gaming. So gaming is a very popular subject. It's now the number one entertainment industry in terms of revenue, beating music and film. And it's traditionally not been something that the auto industry would want to explore because of the simple fact of the driver should be concentrating on the road. But as we get to semi-autonomy, full autonomy, even ride-hailing, car sharing, where the driver is doing less of the driving and there are less drivers, but an equal amount of people using cars as passengers, that's when there's an opportunity for gaming to come in. Now, I wouldn't want to transplant a living room gaming experience into the auto space, mostly because that's a wasted opportunity. One thing that's different in the car, of course, is you're in a confined space, moving through space and time. Let's introduce those mechanics into our game. For example, if you wanted to play a game of I Spy with the car, it could spy things it sees as it's traversing through a city. These are experiences that your Nintendos and PlayStations can't deliver in the living room context, and therefore they're unique to the automotive context. They're original experiences that you can only get to the in-car space. And the last thing that we consider when we are designing original experiences is, as I mentioned earlier in my talk, is the physical and the digital, but also the service and the strategy. And all that together creates a brand experience. And we can make sure that even though we create the most compelling, most well thought out original experiences, we make sure that actually they're unique to the brand. So what does a Ford original experience look like versus a Jaguar Land Rover original experiences? They will both be fantastic original experiences because they're well considered, but each one will be unique because of the brand proposition and brand values that add a layer to that. So with all that said, I'll give an example of some of the work that NewTerritory have done that uses those processes and that way of thinking about original experiences to deliver on an experience. And this is for Airbus. And this is considering the modularity of the opportunity of space inside the cabin. And we've done it in a way that's actually quite easily integratable into a modular structure within the cabin. And so we can consider everything from rest for cabins where people might want to relax and sleep. We have other ones where perhaps there's some privacy, perhaps it's a shorter flight where I do some work with some privacy. Or maybe it's more of a social situation. Maybe they're on the way to holiday and they want to drink at a bar. That's feasible. And we designed it in a way that's easily works for the aviation industry, in that it's quite modular and it's easy to install. So hopefully, this could work within days. It would change out the interior configuration of the plane depending on the kind of occupancy that or locations that they're traveling to. And this can be swapped out, through the life cycle of the plane. It could shift depending on occupancy, the types of people going, what is it, a business trip as a commercial trip. And so this is understanding all of the sensorial things that the passengers will want, but also some of the service requirements of Airbus, some of the strategies, commercial strategies around reusing equipment and vehicles in the future, and so on. And just to end on our multisensory CMX lab. So we do a lot of exploration and experimentation when it comes to developing these original experiences. Everything, like I said, to the physical, the digital, the strategy, and the service. So we have a great space in our basement where we have all kinds of weird and wonderful materials and technologies that we use to that we mix up and we use to create prototypes and interesting experiences, whether it's touch or smell or sound or facial recognition, haptics, gestures, and so on. We use everything from haptic touchscreens. These are interesting technologies where they're flat screens, but they use sonic waves to create haptic touch. So you can run your finger along the screen and you can feel soft fluff or grainy sandpaper or bumpy textures. And it's great space-saving technology. That means that we can give sort of a brand texture to a flat surface, for example. And virtual reality in the metaverse. Now, I'm probably remiss if I didn't mention the metaverse in this talk. That is also something that's useful to us to explore, not just in terms of the consumer-facing product, but also as something that we use to experiment with spatial design, communication with one another in the teams. It's something that's an interesting tool that helps us develop interesting original experiences. And gesture control, that's something that we have been looking at recently after the pandemic. Contactless technologies are becoming more prevalent because of the hygiene factors and contamination factors that we've all so aware of. Any way we can interact with technology without touching a physical object is becoming more and more interesting. And that's why we started exploring these sort of gestural interactions. And now you can get actually quite specific, quite detailed in terms of recognizing individual digit finger placement and so on. And those are just examples of some of the kind of tools that we use, but the more interesting thing is actually when we bring them together and mash them up and see what experiences we create when we bring all these different multi-sensory technologies together. So voice recognition, gesture recognition, proximity recognition, haptics, feedback, olfactory, sensory experiences, lighting, facial recognition, biometrics, everything is loaded into the space where we can just experiment and explore and see what works well from an experiential point of view. So that concludes my talk. Thank you so much for listening to me. And if you have any questions for me, you can email me. The address is on screen. It's tim@NewTerritory.io. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tim, for this inspiring speech, and hello, everyone. I'm Kerem Engin, and I work as a Ventures Associate for Plug and Play Istanbul. Today, we are very excited to host Plug and Play Istanbul's first ever expo, and we are delighted to share this experience with you as our ecosystem friends. As you already know, we have completed a fruitful period with our corporate partners and startups. Now, I would like to introduce you to presentations of the most innovative startups during our last program in mobility and IoT, Industry 4.0, supply chain and new materials. In between the 10 selected startup presentations today, you will also see some of the great examples for collaborations and POCs between our corporate partners and fellow startups. Without further ado, I would like to start with our first startup today, which is FlipApp from Germany. I want to start by saying congratulations to our portfolio startup Flip for the recent $30 million Series A round. In a nutshell, Flip is a powerful communication tool which empowers every employee in a simple and an efficient way. Let's hear more from their team.
Hi everyone, my name is Manuel and I'm an account executive here at Flip. We are really happy to present Flip at the Plug and Play Istanbul Expo. Without the last expo of Plug and Play, we wouldn't be able to close a great deal with our very first customer in Turkey. I hope many more will follow, and therefore I will use this chance to present Flip to the whole Plug and Play community. Enjoy! Welcome to the presentation of Flip, the employee app for internal communication. We have a slogan that's called Empowering Every Employee. With this, we want to bring our vision of an effective and efficient internal communication into reality. Let's have a look at the current status of the internal communication in companies. Looking at the evolution of technology for desktop workers, I won't have to tell you anything. We came from the fax machine to the first computer to mobile and later on smartphones, and are now able to work from everywhere in the world with our laptops. For non-desktop workers, nothing has changed. Nothing. In over 60 years, they are still standing in front of their bulletin boards, looking at their shift plan and filling out printed forms to submit a leave request, for example. Looking at the world's workforce, we noticed that 80% of the total workforce are non-desktop workers. And there we have the technology gap. Many companies leave their majority of employees behind in terms of internal communication. Non-desk workers are often cut off from the company's information flow. And that's why we need to stop that and start to include everyone in the internal communication regardless of when, where and how someone is working. Flip is one of the fastest growing startups in Europe according to Business Insider. We are already one of the top 3 providers for digital internal communication solutions also in Europe. Since we have our roots in the German market, we are very happy to expand our business to the DACH region and beyond. We have a strong footprint in the retail and producing industry. With Groupe Atlantic, we have our very first Turkish customer and we are really happy about that. Welcome to the Flip family. So why do companies like Flip? It's very simple. Flip is the entire company in one app. With our mobile-first approach, we provide companies an employee app branded in their corporate identity. We enable companies to reach all of their employees with push notifications, and that with only 2 clicks. Besides the top-down information distribution, employees can now, for many companies for the first time ever, give their feedback and raise their voice. And very important and an USP of Flip are the offline capabilities. You can consume all content and interact with the app even when you have low or no reception. It is very important for us that Flip isn't a data silo or closed system. We designed Flip as a platform so that you can integrate existing systems and tools without any implementation or migration efforts. Companies can give their employees even more benefits with our menu. If an employee has any topic related to his work or employer, they can reach into their pocket, pull out their phone, open their employee app, and from there find all the other relevant jumping off points. You can say Flip is the employer in your pocket. Since we focus on the non-desktop workers, we won't forget the people working with the desktop. I always refer to Flip as an app, but as you can see, Flip is universal in its usage. You can use Flip on any device regardless if it's company-owned or the private mobile device from your employees. Yeah, that's it. That's Flip. Thank you everyone for listening and have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Team FlipApp, for this presentation. And now we are moving on with Cogniac. Based in the US, Cogniac offers an AI-based deep learning software platform helping companies automate their visual inspection tasks. This solution is highly tailored for manufacturing inspection and industrial inspection applications. Let's discover more together.
Welcome to Cogniac, the global leader in AI-powered image and video analysis. Cogniac enables the extraction of specific and actionable intelligence from visual data. This video has been made especially for the PMP Expo. As we click on the tenant, you can see the example that we created to analyze images of dice in a dice shaker. Cogniac has 3 products. Cloud Core is the central SaaS system used for building, training, and managing AI visual applications in the cloud. Our EdgeFlow product is used by customers who process images through an edge device. And our Cloudflow product is our cloud-based inference environment. This provides great flexibility to our customers. This one's a really simple tenant, but with some of our more established customers, these tenants can be grown to be very large and comprehensive. This is where our graphical user interface enables companies to build AI workflows like this without the need for teams of data scientists. Here is our search bar. Simply search for applications, subjects, or media by ID, name, or partial string. The images are securely uploaded to the platform using this media tool. By entering a subject name here, we can start to upload images to train the system. Once in production, the media is uploaded automatically from the customer's inference environment, creating a scalable and agile platform. As media is uploaded, the system automatically adds metadata to create a complete system of record for all of our customers' visual data. The Cogniac pipeline can be built by stringing together multiple applications. These applications tell the user what the system is looking for at that moment. One of the features of Cogniac is that one image can be analysed multiple times to provide ever more granular insight on the same media. To add a new application, we simply press this button here. You can see many trainable and non-trainable applications. The non-trainable applications are clever plumbing-style integrations that enable real-world deployment. To take a look at the applications already deployed, the user can view them here. This is an overview of each of the applications and their current performance, consensus media, the images that are validated by the human in the loop, and when the latest AI model was released. One of the benefits of Cogniac is the ability to take image and video data from any source. We currently have deployments using traditional images, X-ray, infrared, and more. So let's dive into the pip count application. This is the window our customers see when they want to investigate their applications. At the top is a graph of the application's performance. These blue circles here mark when a new model was released. Cogniac uses hyperparameter optimization, which helps our training algorithms to quickly converge on the best available model for a given training dataset. As more human-in-the-loop data is provided, Cogniac can quickly adapt, and will continue to train and release any new models that outperform the previous frontrunners. This second graph shows the number of consensus media, the images that have been validated in the system by the human subject matter expert. And finally here is some training information. Some of our applications have thousands of trained models, but Cogniac will only release those that improve the system. The yellow box here is designed to request feedback from the user. The Cogniac system strategically requests human feedback on its predictions that have the greatest potential to drive model improvements. This helps us to deliver ongoing continuous training. Using this feature, the user can simply confirm or reject the suggestion from Cogniac. App outputs is where the user gets to see the analysis made by the Cogniac platform. Users can dive into the detail of each image, such as the ID assigned to that media, date and time of upload, as you can see here. In complex manufacturing and supply chain deployments, this further enhances the depth of insight provided by Cogniac. App Outputs is, for Cogniac's customers, the global system of record that tracks every single piece of visual data around the world. So there you have it, an introduction to the Cogniac tenant, a revolutionary AI-powered computer vision platform that uses low-code graphical user interface to dramatically improve companies' organizational performance.
Next, we will listen to a startup from Turkey. With 10 years of experience in additive and subtractive manufacturing, Loop 3D is developing industrial additive manufacturing systems. They offer reliable machines with cloud-based software that allows remote control of each printer, project management, slicing, and more. I will leave the stage to Loop 3D for their presentation.
Hello, I'm Erkan Ustaoğlu. I'm the founder of Loop 3D. Loop 3D is a 3D printer sales and service provider. We are designing and developing 3D printers, and we are manufacturing them in-house. With over 10 years of experience in the area of additive manufacturing, we worked with many customers, we learned from market, and we designed a product that can meet most of customers' expectations. Our product is Loop Pro X. Loop Pro X is designed for both office environments, studios, or even factory floors. It is not only a very compact machine, but also it has very large build volume. With large volume of Loop Pro X, customers can print many parts in single piece, up to half meter. Moreover, these parts can be printed with many functional materials, such as glass fiber reinforced polyamide 6 and carbon fiber reinforced polyamide 6. In example, tensile strength is over 100 megapascal and heat deflection temperature is over 200 Celsius degrees. These functionalities opens countless possibilities and many application areas for different kind of manufacturers. In addition, printed parts has exceptional surface quality, unlike other solutions in the market. Sidewall quality is very high and it is difficult to see layer lines. This quality comes from positioning accuracy and repeatability of the machine. We are using unibody aluminum casting at the top body of printer. Then we are milling them on our CNC milling machines. In this way, we ensure dimensional accuracy and flatness of each Loop Pro X. We designed this machine as easy to move, easy to install, easy to use, and easy to maintain too. Most of important parts of Loop Pro X are modular and replaceable by users without waiting on-site service. Especially during pandemic and travel restrictions, this was a unique selling point for the product. To control Loop Pro X 3D printers, there is a software which is called Loop 3D Cloud. It is very easy to use software, working with 4 simple steps. First one is uploading then positioning, slicing, and printing. Let's have a look how it works. First of all, you need to select your 3D models, for example, in STL files, and you need to drag and drop to the browser. After uploading, you need to choose your model position. Software can also decide how it should be printed. You are free to choose your own position. After that, the only thing you need to do is select the profile presets of your material. After that, you can directly send prints to printer or add to the queue. When software finish print, you are getting email notifications with a nice time-lapse video. Also, I would like to explain one of our case study briefly with Hidromek. Hidromek is using multiple loop Pro X 3D printers for their rapid prototyping needs, some end-use parts, and some under-the-hood applications on their construction machines and vehicles. We are working with a lot of companies globally, including Jaguar, Land Rover, Franke, and so on. We would like to cooperate with you, and we are open to any type of partnership. Thank you very much.
Next, we are going all the way to Prague to meet with Neuron Soundware. As a startup which was founded in 2016, Neuron Soundware reshapes machine diagnostics and predictive maintenance. Their AI recognizes sound patterns in real time and provides insights. Now, we will listen to their presentation for the details.
Hi guys, we are Neuron Soundware. We are the company that listens to machines through artificial intelligence. Essentially, we digitize human hearing through AI, and we are the leader in this field globally. We help our customers save money in predictive maintenance, in process control, in fleet management, as you will see a little bit later. And then we scale together with our customers and with our partners. In the beginning, I want to say thanks to Plug and Play. It's our 6th anniversary in February, and we've been with Plug and Play since the very early days of 2016. And we've been introduced to many great customers through Plug and Play, starting in the US operation, where we got contacts to Japanese and US customers, through European Plug and Play Germany, where we worked with the sustainability team in Berlin and with the startup Autobahn team. In Stuttgart, we got in contact with a lot of energy customers, with a lot of automotive customers. We worked with Plug and Play Italy, Spain. Now we're very happy to be here with Plug and Play Turkey to announce that we actually have a trial already through this program, and with the help of our customers, we have an installation that's coming up, and we've closed the deal in December 2022. Thanks, Plug and Play. What we do? Well, we use artificial intelligence in our own industrial IoT hardware to listen to machines. We connect sensors and microphones to record and listen to sounds and vibrations from machines. And from these, we create kind of natural algorithms that work wherever an educated, trained human hearing operator would work. And that means almost everybody in the industries. So we essentially automate human hearing, and we keep being amazed at each new application of this technology that our customers and our partners bring to us and show us. Of course, we have scaled up several of these solutions into full-fledged vertical solutions. We have a solution for predictive maintenance, saving money to our customers by predicting failures or giving them anomalies on their machines. We help customers with fleet management, managing large groups of assets, and also digitizing assets that would previously be essentially undigitizable. So that's what humans can do when they listen to machines. We also found out that we can help our customers with quality of their production, because some of them have operators who actually listen to the finished product, especially in automotive. Some of them can hear when a process in a chemical industry or in a processing industry is finished or complete. So we can do all of that. And again, it's great for us to enter into new areas. So essentially, our key focus industries are power and energy, mostly for predictive maintenance, automotive and manufacturing for all sorts of use cases that I've listed above, and processing in oil and gas and chemical industries, due to the fact that our hardware is certified for explosive zones. So we work with a number of oil and gas and chemical customers in situations where no other system can work. So with that, we'll be happy to hear from you on the website. We'll be happy to hear from you about new deals, about investments. We are currently raising money for Series B. And again, I want to thank the Plug and Play for having us here. And I invite you to come and join us and talk to us. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Next, we're traveling back to the US. Founded in 2013 in San Jose, Litmus bridges the gap between data in the field or factory and enterprise applications for companies looking to implement industrial IoT solutions, which helps customers improve efficiency. Let's hear their story together.
Hello, everybody. My name is Damien, and this is Litmus. Litmus is an industrial IoT edge platform, and we're built for speed, scale, and security. And what that means is we've designed the product to be able to be deployed very quickly on your shop floor and solve use cases rapidly, and then to scale those use cases out across your organization in a secure and controlled manner. A little bit about us. We were founded in 2014 in Silicon Valley in San Jose, California, and have expanded to offices in Toronto and Tokyo. We are built strictly for industrial customers and to help them with digital transformation. In 2019, our Series A funding was provided by Mitsubishi, and last year we received Series B funding from Google. And we have an existing customer base of global Fortune 500 customers with over 3,000 live deployments of Litmus in the field today. People work with Litmus for strategic and hard ROI outcomes. Strategically, all of our customers are looking to empower their digital transformation motions. They want to use data to make better decisions, and they want to provide that data to their people and also to other systems within the organization. They want to transition from manual, legacy, and inefficient workflows where paper, Excel is being used to a connected and agile workforce on the plant floor. And of course, everybody's looking to increase profitability. We do that with improvements in quality, scrap, uptime, and business agility. On the right, you'll see some actual use cases and savings from our customers over the years. In the automotive sector, we've saved someone 200,000 euros a year due to a scrap reduction. Also in the automotive sector, we've saved 150,000 USD by deploying a part traceability and compliance solution within Litmus. We've improved product quality and reduced the consumer returns for a company in the consumer goods industry by eliminating a nagging quality defect in their press shop. We've helped another customer cut their cloud data transmission costs by over 85% in the food and beverage sector across 35 plants. And in the aerospace parts machining sector, our software has been used to reduce work in progress by 5%, which resulted in over 500,000 euros of savings per year. The savings are very real. Some of the challenges that we help our customers overcome. Generally, when people are looking at connecting their machines and using the data, one of the first problems is that data has many different formats and it's sitting all over the plant in different machines and different systems, and it's hard to get at. OT infrastructures are typically closed and they don't play very well with the world of IT. So it's also difficult to extract that data and put it into a usable format with modern IT tools. There's a mix of legacy and modern systems on the plant floor. So all kinds of protocols and all kinds of data formats. We have difficulty ingesting the data because it's hidden behind various protocols. And very importantly, the ability to enable use cases once you have that data and then scale them across the organization to drive a clear ROI are additional challenges that add complexity to the task ahead of us here. So Litmus was designed to help you overcome many of these challenges. And at a high level view, this is what the platform looks like. So you'll see here, Litmus Edge is deployed on the plant floor and it is software that is used to collect, store, and visualize your machine data. Litmus Edge Manager is deployed in the IT network, and it's used for centralized management to orchestrate data, applications, and devices. Now, if we take a look at the plant floor, we have 3 different personalities here that use it. OT people will use it to manage their edge devices, their data, and their applications at the plant floor. Production will use the data and the apps to improve their machine uptime and OEE with dashboards, displays, and custom apps. Engineering teams will use the machine data to run analytics and edge applications to optimize the process and the recipe. On the IT side, someone on the IT side will be responsible for managing how the machine and OT data collected from the plant floors is shared with the rest of the enterprise system. Data scientists will be interested in some of the more advanced use cases to use the data collected to develop advanced machine learning models. And developers and applications teams love Litmus because anything that they write as code or any program that they have can be deployed within the Litmus fabric to speak directly to their industrial equipment. And this is a very high level overview of the capabilities of the Litmus platform. So again, we have Litmus Edge, which connects to every device that you have. We have more drivers than anybody else in the market. There's an analytics and workflow engine to help you drive all of the value from your different use cases. We integrate the data between different systems on your plant floor and different systems in your cloud and IT infrastructure. And we enable a variety of applications to be deployed within this Edge framework. And the Edge Manager software is used again to globally manage this, to set the security policies, to manage the lifecycle of devices, to manage the application. So it's a complete all-in-one platform, and it's deployed offline first without any connection to the internet within your factory floor. So that's it. Thank you for your time. And I really look forward to meeting everybody on the Expo Day. Take care.
Thank you, Damien, for this incredible presentation. And hello, everyone. I'm Idil. I work as a program manager at Plug and Play Istanbul. We have come to the end of our first startup speech session. I hope you have enjoyed watching our startup so far. Before moving to the second session, we would like to show you some pilot projects. As you know, in this expo, we are wrapping our first 2 programs. And one of the leading success indicators for these programs is the POCs happening between our partners and startups. That is why we are incredibly proud of this part. And without going further, let's start with listening to our first founding anchor partner, MESS, and the details of its 3 POCs with 3 of our program startups.
MEXT is the world's largest, most innovative and state-of-the-art technology center. MEXT was established in 2020 in Istanbul by the Turkish Employers Association of Metal Industries to accelerate and lead the digital transformation of its members and the overall industry and add value to the society and the economy. With Plug and Play program, we are focusing on Industry 4.0, mobility, IoT, supply chain and logistics, energy and new materials in our cohorts. We have a digital factory in our technology center. Through our digital factory, we enable our member companies to experience digital transformation in real production environment. We have the opportunity to conduct pilot trials with startups at our digital factory. Currently, we are running tests with Neuron Soundware, Litmus, and Intenseye from our Plug and Play program cohort. We implement the latest and most competitive solutions and bring our member companies together with local and global innovative solutions, entrepreneurs, and initiatives that contribute to solving their constantly changing challenges.
Hello, my name is Damien Smektala, and I am the VP of Sales for Litmus. We are a startup located in Silicon Valley in San Jose, California, and we are an industrial IoT platform. So we're software that connects industrial machines to the cloud. We started working with Plug and Play early on in our history, back in 2017. They've connected us to many amazing customers. Most recently, we were connected with a group called MEXT, which is a hub of thought leadership and industrial showcase of technology located in Turkey. We met with their engineers and the product was a good fit for what they were looking for. So in November, they installed it in their production facility. We've been working with them ever since to expand the use case and expand the methodologies and tweak the applications with the platform. And they've had it on display ever since. It's been a great relationship, and we look forward to many more projects with the team at MEXT. So thanks to PNP and thanks to MEXT for all their support.
In the MEXT Model Factory, we have deployed an OT-IT convergence to demonstrate integration benefits across all hierarchical levels of the automation. We have deployed Litmus industrial IoT platform on our Model Factory. Litmus develops machine and system communication libraries and can receive or transmit data over the industrial network with its device agnostic capability. Our purposes are to improve data-driven decision by using real-time data and gain operational visibility with control. And our aim with integrating Litmus in our Model Factory is to monitor communication reliability and performance on an industrial interoperable network by observing its capabilities.
My name is Yuzi, I'm from Neuron Soundware, and I want to tell you a little bit about the trial that we run currently with MEXT in Turkey, in cooperation with Plug and Play Turkey. We had an opportunity to talk to MEXT as our partner and to see their needs in increasing their capacity in monitoring their predictive maintenance lab system. So we've installed our system, which records sounds and vibrations through our own IoT devices, and then runs AI algorithms to detect from these sounds and vibrations any anomalies and failures. We started the installation a few weeks ago, actually, so it's quite new to us, and everything's running quite smoothly.
In MEXT Model Factory, we have established the bridle station, which consists of comprehensive rotational machinery foundations and components. We use the bridle station to test and practice predictive maintenance approaches with tech developers and startups. We have full control and visibility over the bridle mechanism. Thus, we perform and simulate common industrial machinery operational defects, such as misalignment, unbalance, mechanical looseness, electrical problems, bearing and gear defects. Our current proof of concept focuses on Neuron Soundware's technology. We have installed Neuron Soundware sensors on the bridle station, and now we are testing a realistic predictive maintenance scenario with Neuron Soundware solution. For the rotational machines, deviations in the centrifugal force play a crucial role in the diagnostics, and our goal is to achieve a reliable spectrum analysis and establish AI-based predictive models. In addition to achieving a robust model, deployment easiness and flexibility are the other key success criteria of this POC.
And we're very happy to be able to work with MEXT and to get the visibility that we believe we will across the industry in Turkey. So thanks to Plug and Play and thanks to MEXT for having us on this trial. We look forward to many, many happy customers in Turkey very, very soon.
Within MEXT, as in every production site, we have determined the issue of occupational health and safety as our top priority in our use cases we have commissioned. In addition, we have also developed use cases for occupational health and safety. After meeting with Intenseye, we produced many new scenarios about OSH. Thanks to a user-friendly interface and rules that can be defined without requiring code, we quickly integrated. Without adding an additional camera, we can always deploy image processing scenarios related to occupational health and safety with our existing CCTV cameras. To give a few examples, where helmet use is mandatory, we can guarantee the use of helmets. During the trainings, we can prevent the participants from entering unauthorized areas while the factory is operating. During the pandemic, we can track the usage of masks and social distance. In case of any violation, it can be waived quickly and automatic reporting can be made. We do this in a way that only gives an instant warning, without violating personal data protection law. In short, with Intenseye, we can achieve our occupational health and safety goals at MEXT much more easily.
So we are organizing focus weeks with Plug and Play Istanbul team, where entrepreneurs present their solutions on specific verticals. During focus weeks, we got a chance to meet with Litmus and Neuron Soundware and approach them to test their products in our digital factory.
Our second POC comes from our founding anchor partner Aygaz and our program startup Loop 3D. You have already listened to Loop 3D's speech in the first session. Aygaz and Loop 3D did a POC took it to the next level, and started working together. Now, let's listen to their project's details from Aygaz and Loop 3D's teams.
Aygaz LPG'nin temini, stoklanması, dolumu ve LPG'li cihaz üretimi ile satışını kapsayan süreçleri gerçekleştiren entegre bir LPG şirketi olarak 1961 yılında kurulmuştur. Tüketiciler tarafından en çok tercih edilen LPG ürünlerini sunan Aygaz, her gün yaklaşık 81 ilde 50.000 eve girmekte ve günde 200.000'e yakın araca Aygaz ve markaların istasyonlarından yakıt temin etmektedir. 2018 yılında 18 kişilik uzman kadrosuyla sektörün ilk Ar-Ge merkezini kurduk. 2021 yılında Ar-Ge merkezi genişlemesiyle kadromuzu 28 kişiye, toplam alanımızı da 772 metrekareden 1432 metrekareye çıkarttık. Aygaz Ar-Ge merkezimizde uzman kadromuzda iş süreçlerine ve paydaşlara değer yaratacak yeni teknolojiler geliştirmek hedefiyle Ar-Ge çalışmalarımıza devam ediyoruz.
Girişimimiz olan Loop 3D bugün profesyonel bir 3D printer üreticisi haline gelmiştir. Geçmişteki sektör tecrübemizi ve bilgi birikimimizi kullanıcı odaklı tasarımla birleştirerek Loop Pro serisi 3D printerları geliştirdik. Şu anda yaklaşık 1200 metrekare alanda 3D printer üretimlerine devam ediyoruz. Avrupa pazarı için Polonya'da satış ofisimiz var. Hollanda, Belçika, Almanya, İngiltere gibi ülkelerde de bayilerimiz mevcut. Bayi ve distribütörlerimizin sayısı her geçen gün artmakta.
Aygaz olarak yeni iş modelleri geliştirme, dijitalleşme ve süreçlerimizi teknolojik yeniliklerle buluşturmaya yönelik hedeflerimizi ve beklentilerimizi Plug and Play İstanbul'a ilettik. Dünyanın dört bir yanından on binlerce startup firması arasından çok hızlı bir şekilde bizim için en uygun firmaları değerlendirmemize sundular. Teknik incelemelerimiz sonucunda Tekno Design firmasının sunmuş olduğu çözüm ilgimizi çekti.
Prototip geliştirme süreçlerimiz için kalite ve verimliliği arttırmanın dışında kapasite artışı ve zaman yönetiminde de iyileştirme ihtiyaçlarımız vardı. Projelerimizde büyük hacimli baskılar gerektiği durumda birden fazla parçayı birleştirmek yerine tek operasyonla bütün parçayı baskı olarak hazır hale getirme ihtiyacımız da bulunuyordu. Tekno Design'ın ürünü baskı boyutları anlamında bu çözümü ihtiyaçlarımıza uygun çözümü sağlıyordu. Diğer çözüm aradığımız konu ise mekanik ve sıcaklık dayanımı yüksek olan malzemeleri kolay bir şekilde baskı alabilmekti. Tekno Design'ın ürününe ait sarf malzemeleriyle bu ihtiyacımızı karşılayan iki özgün malzemesiyle tanıştık. Bunlardan biri karbon fiber, diğeri de cam fiber malzemelerle güçlendirilmişti. Bu malzemeler farklı projelerimiz kapsamında hazırlanması gereken farklı hacimli prototipler olduğu için örneğin LPG ile çalışan kamp cihazlarından makine otomasyon grubu parçalarına kadar ihtiyaçlarımıza çözüm sunabilecek nitelikteydi.
Aygaz ile çalışmaya başlarken aslında Aygaz'ın ihtiyaç duyduğu özellikler ile bizim üzerinde yıllarca çalıştığımız özelliklerin kesiştiğine şahit olduk. Özellikle büyük baskı alanı, mekanik dayanımı yüksek parçalar ve ısı dayanımı yüksek parçalar üretilme konusunda ürünümüzün kabiliyetlerine oldukça güveniyorduk. Ürünümüzün kabiliyetleri ve müşterilerimizin beklentilerinin örtüşmesi bizi çok motive etti.
Pilot proje olarak Loop 3D'den kamp ocağı tasarımlarımızdan birinin iki parçasını basmasını rica ettik. Gerçek üründe bu parçalardan biri plastik gövde, diğeri ise çelik gövde görevi taşıyordu. İki parçanın da sıcaklık dayanımı gereksinimi bulunuyordu. Parçalar gayet başarılı bir şekilde basılmıştı. Aynı zamanda bu parçalar sıcaklık dayanımı yüksek malzemeyle basıldığı için ürünle yapılması gereken ilk aşamadaki basit testlerimizde parçaları canlı olarak kullanma ve testlerde değerlendirme fırsatı bulduk.
Plug and Play bu işbirliğinin sağlanması konusunda firmaları tanıştırmaktan çok daha fazlasını yaptı ve süreç boyunca bize destek oldu. Çözüm odaklı yaklaşımları ve pozitif enerjileri nedeniyle tüm Plug and Play ekibine tekrar teşekkür ediyorum.
İşbirliği ve destekleri için Plug and Play İstanbul'a çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Bu birlikteliğin yeni işbirlikleri geliştirilmesinde bir başlangıç olmasını diliyoruz.
And our last pilot project presentation is between one of MESS's members, Groupe Atlantic, and one of our portfolio companies, FlipApp. You had a chance to listen to their presentation before in the first session. Groupe Atlantic and FlipApp's POC is the first POC of our programs. They also moved this POC one step ahead and collaborated. Let's listen to details of this collaboration.
Atlantic is a French international company, more than 50 years old. Since 2 years, our factory grew too much, and we became from 200 people to almost 500 people. And it happened in pandemic time. This means we wanted to reach our employees in a very quick way, and we would like to deploy correct information on time. So this made us think about alternative solutions, innovative solutions, about new ways for corporate communication.
Worldwide, 80% of employees work operationally and without a desktop. So unfortunately, however, only 1% of new software is developed by employees without a desktop. So Flip's vision is to provide equal and simultaneous access to information for all employees in the company, regardless of workplace or location. Flip is a software as a service solution, and therefore we use the newest technology available for cloud solutions. We have a microservice architecture which allows us to handle big amounts of requests and data when needed. If the workload is low, we can simply reduce the computing capacity. That saves us money and it is resource efficient.
With Plug and Play and MEXT organization, we come together with Flip specialist. It was a specific meeting for us, and Flip explained themselves in a very clear way, and they answer all my questions in my mind. Then after this meeting, I said, yes, I think we really need this application.
We focused on challenges and problems in the communication of Groupe Atlantic in the first place. We asked ourselves questions like, how does Groupe Atlantic distribute information? How can employees consume this information? Does everyone have the same access to information? These are just some questions we were trying to figure out. Flip as a solution was secondary. It is very important to understand the needs of the other side and not to just present your solution hoping it will fit.
With the pilot study, we received a lot of positive feedbacks from our employees that the information is very easily received, and they can give their opinions via very simple surveys. And they say it is also possible to have small groups within their own teams so that they can interact with each other easily.
The collaboration with Groupe Atlantic was fantastic. We had super friendly and competent contact persons who really wanted to make a change in the internal communication. Therefore, we worked very closely together and came up with constructive ideas. The commitment of Groupe Atlantic was great, and we were able to conclude the contract very quickly. Plug and Play Istanbul was very supportive. I was requesting feedback after my first meeting with Groupe Atlantic, what I could have done better and where we need to set the focus to drive the sales process forward. We had a great debriefing and settled a strategy to successfully place Flip in the right light at Groupe Atlantic.
Thanks to Plug and Play, now we have a new opportunity, new technology to go on in a digital world.
We hope that you have enjoyed listening to the synergies between our program startups and our partners as much as we did. Next, we have another startup with Turkish roots. Founded in 2005, Solvoyo helps customers improve efficiency by creating, managing, and deploying advanced Industry 4.0 solutions in order to support their vision of creating the future of supply chain planning. Now, it's time for the presentation of Solvoyo.
From outside, we are a cloud-native software as a service company, and we help our clients automate their decision-making in their supply chain and offer them diagnostic capabilities for growth while managing cost. From inside, we're a bunch of mavericks. In fact, we were set up as a rebellion against traditional supply chain planning tools and their siloed view of the supply chain. Our Quintarian philosophy is that the recommendations coming out of our engine would be of such high quality that they would be executed without any human touch. And that's this whole notion of autonomous supply chains that we stand for. In fact, our founder set up Solvoyo in Boston only a couple of years after Tesla was set up in California with an autonomous vehicle vision. So if vehicles can go autonomous, so can supply chains. We help our clients make true end-to-end decisions on the same digital platform, from understanding their demands all the way to delivery of their products. We recognize that it's a journey to go from digital to intelligent to autonomous, and we like to think ourselves as a partner in that journey.
Hi, I'm Hilal, Growth Specialist at Solvoyo. Thank you for having us at Plug and Play Istanbul Expo. The previous Plug and Play event gave us the opportunity to connect with companies wanting to start their digital transformation journey. As our Chief Operating Officer, NewTerritory, explained, Solvoyo offers an intelligent supply chain planning and analytics platform that automates decisions. The nirvana is a fully autonomous supply chain, and there is indeed a definitive path to reach that stage. The first big step is to become digital. We help you create a digital backbone on the cloud, and we combine your internal and external data on a single platform, ensure data integrity, and provide visibility into your supply chain. The second step is to add intelligence to the data. We transform the data to provide you both diagnostic insights and predictive alerts. Furthermore, we create intelligent forecasts, optimize your inventory across the supply chain, plan production, suggest procurement, prioritize your customer orders, and plan your transportation. Using a combination of algorithms, optimization, advanced statistics, AI and ML techniques. The ultimate step takes you towards autonomous decisions. Autonomous supply chains require clean and internally consistent data, and set of predictive alerts supporting robust end-to-end planning capabilities. However, these are not sufficient for autonomous decision-making. You need to simplify your end-to-end processes and adopt an exception-based planning approach. You reach the nirvana of autonomous planning by continuously refining the end-to-end process with supporting business rules and planning engine inputs. So, simplifying decision-making processes of the entire supply chain from demand and all the way through transportation is not easy. But through this journey that I just described, Solvoyo helped many clients succeed in implementing autonomous planning with great business results. So let Solvoyo take care of your end-to-end supply chain planning processes while you focus on growing your business. Solvoyo offers templatized solutions primarily for CPG and retail customers. However, our advanced analytic capabilities also attracts clients from q-commerce, automotive, and industrial equipment sectors. So the future is here for Solvoyo clients. Please visit our website to explore our client case studies and reach out to us with any questions you might have. Thank you for watching this video. Stay safe and healthy.
From the US, we are moving on to the UK. Senseye was founded in 2013 with the focus of saving money by using machine learning algorithms to automatically forecast machine failure and remaining useful life, achieving a typical ROI in less than 3 months. Senseye is trusted by Fortune 500 industrial companies to halve unplanned downtime and increase maintenance efficiency by 40%. Let's hear how they do it together.
Hello, everyone. My name is Niall Sullivan. I'm the VP of Marketing at Senseye, a cloud-based predictive maintenance platform. We help global Fortune 500 companies to reduce unplanned downtime, reduce operating costs, and help them to meet their sustainability goals. So today I'm delighted to do this presentation on behalf of the PMP Istanbul Expo event. So I hope you get a lot out of this presentation. So what I want to do quickly is explain to you what Senseye PDM is. So when the co-founders first created the product, they were actually looking to help maintainers monitor machinery at scale. So not necessarily looking at 10, 15 machines, but actually how do they help maintainers monitor 15, 20, 30,000 and more machinery in one place. And that's what they've created, and something that can be scaled effortlessly. So what's within the platform is actually automated condition monitoring insights. But what it does is actually only shares the most relevant insights that are most relevant to a maintainer. So they're not sharing every bit of information available, but showing the most important information so maintainers can focus their efforts in the right area and their resources, of course. What this means is they can calculate how long their machinery is likely to perform, and which obviously aids and helps with maintenance planning and scheduling. And then all of this is done within a web-based browser. So because it's cloud-based, there's nothing to install or maintain. You can simply just log in via any mobile device or laptop. So in terms of key outcomes and savings, I've already mentioned about focusing on the things that matter. So with limited resources, it can be tough to stretch a maintenance team across multiple factory lines and monitor all those different machineries. But Senseye allows you to do that in one place and focus in the right areas. By being able to predict machinery failure ahead of time, it also means you can avoid unplanned downtime and make those repairs proactively rather than reacting to it after the machinery's failed. There's also reduced operational costs. So we actually offer a guaranteed return on investment to cover any supposed risk in the investment. Also, in this day and age with COVID and flexible working, you need to be able to monitor machinery wherever you are in the world. You don't want to have to be in the factory to do this. And being a cloud-based platform means that machinery can be monitored by anyone anywhere in the world as long as they've got connectivity via a web browser. And then lastly, sustainability is a hot topic right now, as I'm sure we all know. So what Senseye can do is help increase asset lifetime. So the machine can last longer and reducing carbon footprint in terms of, and because it lasts longer, it doesn't actually need as many spares, and spares obviously have to be delivered from whether it's far-flung countries or other regions. By reducing that, obviously reduces the impact on the environment too. So I just want to take you through a case study, and Nissan is one of our biggest customers. So we started working with them in 2016, where we started with around 30 assets, and that's well into the 10,000s and more in the current day. But the most amazing thing about this project is that in 2016, Nissan started with 3 people, and today they still only have 3 people. So they've not had to hire anyone in order to scale their condition monitoring, their condition monitoring, and all of that's been possible through using our own methodology, and they've been able to use that to empower themselves to actually scale using their own resources and not having to rely on Senseye. But I'll talk about that in just a second. Some of the results of the project, and it's still obviously ongoing, but initially they've seen some amazing results in terms of millions of dollars saved in unplanned downtime, and they've achieved a return on investment within 3 months. Very impressive indeed. So lastly, what I was saying about Nissan, so we actually have created our own methodology, because what we found with predictive maintenance projects is that they often fail due to the lack of project management skills or even sort of cultural reasons. So we decided to create Senseye PDM Omniverse, which is an online platform containing everything you need in order to roll out your predictive maintenance tool. That's from courses to workshops to white papers to online support communities and case studies and even video tutorials. It contains all the information that is there. And we split this into 4 key stages, as you can see: design, deploy, operate, refine. And there's a brief description of that below, which I can't go into now because it would take too long. But what our intention is to our partners and customers to take control of their own journey, and so they don't need to rely on other sources. They can roll out the predictive maintenance platform themselves and empower their own users. So thank you very much for your time today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to find anything else about Senseye, visit senseye.io. Thank you.
Next, we will listen to UBQ materials from Tel Aviv. Simply put, they're turning waste into plastic. Their unique process converts residual municipal solid waste into novel bio-based UBQ material that can be used to make everyday durable products with a reduced carbon footprint. By converting the waste into this commercially viable and valuable material, they provide the missing link between waste disposal through the new product manufacturing. Let's find out how.
Hello, my name is Sophie Tubiao. I'm the VP of Business Development and Sales at UBQ Materials. At UBQ Materials, we have developed an innovative technology that converts household waste into a new thermoplastic material. Waste is one of the single biggest challenges to civilization. We are fighting to get cleaner and get better and to improve the chances to leave a better planet for the coming generations. The idea is basically to turn the linear way in which we use and throw away into a more circular economy that preserves the resources we have to be used time and time again. At UBQ, we take garbage, everything, food waste, dirty paper and cardboard, garden trimmings and unrecyclable plastics, and convert it into a new resource, a new material that can be used for the production of new products. But the most amazing feature about the UBQ material is that it is climate positive. The UBQ material avoids the emission of methane created during the decomposition of waste in landfills. This factor really allows us to facilitate for brands and manufacturers meeting targets such as zero waste and zero emissions in their production. So from garbage to a new material to new, more sustainable products that can meet the new requirements of our environment-conscious consumers. UBQ can be used in a variety of applications. We are doing anything that is rigid and made of plastics. It can be in the logistics side, in the consumer goods, building and construction, a big potential, and of course in the automotive. UBQ brings a very interesting proposition to manufacturers and brands. We are bio-based, thermoplastic, and circular. We are climate positive, and of course we can replace conventional plastics that are not so popular today, but we still don't find a good alternative for them. All of this through a very sustainable process that repurposes waste, brings it back into our economy as a useful resource, and it's innovative and circular. Plastics are everywhere, are widely used by all of the industries, and we don't find a very viable replacement to it. UBQ can be that replacement. We can bring to the manufacturing a new resource that is viable, functional, and cost efficient, all through the repurposing of otherwise waste at the end of their lifetime, and of course through a circular model. Basically, manufacturers can, by using UBQ, produce the same product with the same process using a more sustainable material. We can decrease the footprint, we can reduce the carbon footprint of the product, and bring to the market a more sustainable product that has a huge environmental value. The UBQ material brings an innovation to manufacturer. We can now create the same product with the same manufacturing process and even with the very similar cost through the use of a more sustainable material. This proposal was recognized very early in the process by Mercedes-Benz. Through the plug-and-play platform and startup Autobahn, we did the first POC in the automotive with Mercedes-Benz. This started back in 2019 when we were very early in the presentation stages of our process. And only 12 months after we began, we already presented the first POC part at the startup Autobahn Program 7 in Düsseldorf. Mercedes-Benz has been a facilitator of bringing the UBQ into the market. We have many projects with the Mercedes-Benz and its supply chain, but also with the entire automotive industry. In Europe, and abroad. Mercedes-Benz was among the first industry leaders to recognize the value of UBQ, but we are very lucky to have other names join that very valuable list. We have Remax, Minetti, Keter, and of course McDonald's that already presented a climate positive McTray in several markets. We've been awarded innovation and sustainability awards across industry, awards that support the credibility and the true value UBQ can bring to you as an implementer. We have achieved a lot in the last 8 years. We have done many things that are incredible looking in retrospect, but we can do so much more. We have completed an amazing round of funding that will facilitate the setup of our first large-scale facility in the Netherlands to be operational by the end of 2022. And we are looking to have a UBQ facility very close to you soon. Thank you very much.
Our next startup is actually a very well-founded scale-up, which is a decacorn. Founded just in 2019 in Munich, Celonis focuses on process mining. Their focus is an intelligent big data technology that analyzes and visualizes every process in your company. It reveals weaknesses and makes processes more transparent, faster, and more cost-effective. Let's hear their story from their end.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Guillaume Morin. I'm leading the solution engineering team for France and EMEA. I'm going to present you the next generation of business performance. We are Celonis, and we are based on your data. We help reveal and fix hidden corporate inefficiencies, delivering greater productivity, profit, and sustainability. We are leader in process mining, and we have more than 2,500 customer deployments across the globe. Houston, we have a process problem. Indeed, 99% of success is good execution, and 100% of good execution lie in your business process. Behind every customer, every product, and every employee, there are business process, e-commerce, supply chain, production, but they are not working well together because companies invest a lot in technologies, but data is not fluid and is not connected between each other. And this is what Celonis is proposing. We are proposing a solution to be able to measure your process, to know exactly where are the bottleneck and the root cause analysis, and how to act to win and improve these processes. We are proposing a SaaS platform where we can connect in real time to your data, connect your process and identify any efficiencies, and after put strategic action plan to solve those gaps. So let me explain you how. We are proposing a store where you can download a connector from any kind of system. In that case, we are going to learn order to cash. We are download pre-built analysis and pre-built data model where any C-level can have access to their own KPI and on increase on time delivery in that case, the reduced return cancellations that have an impact on revenue or increased productivity for the organization. We are building a digital twin of process so you can know exactly in full transparency how it works with different variants. And we identify deviations where you are losing time because there is manual task or maybe other bad automation. And we are going to explain what is the complexity around this kind of processes like order to cash. Behind that, every user can have now their own KPI, know exactly where are the bottleneck and the root cause analysis, and you can act with automation behind that to increase the NPS score in that time, and of course, deliver your product. A lot of companies are leveraging Celonis across the globe, from the top line to impact their revenue, like Vodafone, 20% faster time to market. In the green line for supply chain, because we are reducing all the flow between purchase to pay and order to cash, and with a carbon footprint analysis. And the bottom line, of course, because our CFO want to reduce risk and save money. So thank you so much for this time, and happy to work with you soon.
As our final stop, we are traveling back to the US. Founded in 2015 in Cambridge, Tive provides real-time supply chain visibility and insights that help logistics professionals actively manage their in-transit shipments, location, and condition. With Tive, shippers and logistics service providers eliminate preventable delays, damage, and shipment failures. We will hear more details from their head of partnership, Shauna Baker, and afterwards, we will finalize our expo with our panel discussion. Let's hear our last presentation from Tive.
Hello. Tive is so excited to be participating in Plug and Play's Istanbul EXPO event. We've had a lot of success working with Plug and Play on these events. My name is Shauna Baker, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about Tive today. So Tive is all about empowering in-transit, real-time visibility of shipments moving around the globe. Why is this important? Well, because even today, visibility still ranks the highest priority among supply chain executives. Every practitioner in supply chain and logistics wants visibility, and they want and need that at the product level, and this is the gap that Tive closes. So why Tive? Well, there are multiple stakeholders that need to know the location and condition of cargo on the move at any given time. It's critical information that's needed to run your business. With Tive, for example, you know if your cargo is being transported at the right temp, or you're receiving an alert if there's been a temperature excursion. Maybe you're shipping something that could be super sensitive to shock. You need to make sure that that product has not been damaged by shock in any way. Or perhaps the doors of a truck were suddenly open at a point along the journey that they shouldn't be, and you need to receive an alert about that as well. Tive also has many certifications of compliance that will help you with your business, including, for example, FSMA, FSMA. It requires that food be maintained at a certain temperature and documented as such along its journey. That's what Tive does through the use of our trackers, and this is all stored and time-stamped in our cloud. Just as an example of why it's important, one use case is Chipotle, the restaurant chain in North America. They got into a lot of trouble because they couldn't prove that they didn't do something wrong. Most temperature-related damage is preventable, and if an alert is received on temperature deviation, usually an intervention, such as reaching out to the driver, can happen. Tive has actually seen a 90% reduction in temperature damage across our customers. So the problems we're solving go with everything that I mentioned in the prior slide. Obviously, we're monitoring the condition of your cargo anytime it's in move for temperature, humidity, shock. A little fun fact is we track flowers, for example, being shipped from Colombia into North America for humidity. Nobody wants to receive wilted flowers. We can also do things like provide ETA, very important ETA information, let you know whether or not a shipment has left. We could also provide alert for when it's arrived. Maybe inventory changes ownership at a certain given time as well. And we can tell you if a truck has stayed idle for a given amount of time and it shouldn't, or if the truck driver has made any sort of route deviation that you should be alerted to. All of this means that we can provide that accurate data that you may need for audit or claims. Literally hundreds of hours can be saved with the use of our data as it's stored in our cloud and again, time-stamped. So you really do have 100% visibility compliance by adding a Tive tracker onto your product as it's being shipped. So it goes without saying, we help reduce a lot of that manual effort around understanding where is my shipment. There's no more phone calls. Where is my shipment? Your supplier doesn't know. Your supplier needs to call the dispatch. Dispatch doesn't know. There's no need for all of that to happen today when you can attach a tracker to the product that's being shipped. So time spent saving all sorts of problems around what was the damage, when was it damaged, who owned the inventory at the time it was damaged. And also, these trackers can also be used to thwart theft, which is significantly on the rise today since supply chain is in a lot of trouble in headline news almost every single day. If that light sensor goes off and it's not supposed to, there could be a problem. One of Tive's differentiators is actually the innovation of the trackers themselves. So there's three parts to the innovation. First, we track by GPS satellite. That's pretty standard. We also track by cellular triangulation, and we transmit the data by cellular. But the third element of our hardware is that they also incorporate Wi-Fi for location. So much like bouncing a ball off the wall, we bounce off any Wi-Fi in the area. And that means we provide the most accurate location of any device provider on the market of its kind. Very accurate. In fact, I can tell you what dock a shipment has arrived at, as you can see in this picture. Tive is global. If you can attach it, you can track it, and we can track it on any mode of transportation, in the air, on the ocean, on a rail truck, car, or in a truck. We also can provide some pretty in-depth reports, such as carrier scorecarding. Which carrier do you have the most problems with? Which ones deliver on time and in full almost all the time? Which one has the most trouble with temperature excursions and so on? What route is the most problematic for you? And the actionable alerts can be received by email, by text message, or integrated into your system, whether it's ERP, TMS, or maybe a supply chain visibility platform. We do that through our APIs and webhooks. If you remember anything, I hope you remember that Tive is about saving the shipment. We are not a passive data logger just providing you a report or data. We're actually trying to intervene and do everything possible with you to save the shipment. And as such, we have a 24/7 managed services team that can be part of the process if your client so chooses, and get involved and even do things such as call the truck driver to let him or her know that there's a problem with the shipment and they need to check their reefer. We also provide the most reliable global coverage of any tracker of its kind on the market. It's really important when you're looking at real-time in-transit visibility that you compare apples to apples when you're looking at who would be the best provider for you. Don't overlook how important it is to evaluate the global coverage. And the markets that we serve, obviously, pharmaceutical and healthcare is top of mind of everybody with the pandemic, and tracking vaccines, which are super temperature sensitive. We do that. We also have a huge market in food and perishables. We do a lot of tracking of vegetables and produce and meat and ice cream and even live chickens being shipped and flown around the globe today. We also track a lot of high value and high risk items that are irreplaceable, including masterpiece art. Imagine losing a Picasso that is irreplaceable. Jewelry, auto parts, electronics, and the logistics service provider community works with us as well because they use Tive as a value-added service for their customers, tracking their shipments being moved around the globe. Thank you so much for listening about Tive. I hope to hear from you soon, and thank you to Plug and Play for this wonderful opportunity. Have a great afternoon.
Hi everyone, we're about to start the second panel of our expo where we will discuss startup corporate partnerships. We have two amazing speakers, Arthur Gottfried and Louise Müller-Hofstedt. Sorry if am I pronouncing your names correctly, guys? Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good.
Really good to have you over here. Thank you very much for being with us. Very nice to be hosting this panel with you. So Louise is responsible for strategic development at Circular, a startup, Plug and Play, and our corporate partners, Love. And Arthur is the global innovation manager at DB Schenker, a company which is a Plug and Play corporate partner at Stuttgart. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves and your companies, maybe starting with Arthur, you?
Yes, of course. So first of all, thank you very much for the invitation today to the discussion. So maybe to DB Schenker a few words. So we are one of the world leading logistics service providers in the industry, and we're owned by the German railway company Deutsche Bahn. We are present at around 2,000 locations worldwide, serving more than 700,000 customers. So also active in all transport modes. So land, air, ocean, and also a big area in contract logistics, so delivering warehousing solutions to our customers. Beyond that, covering also really a broad range of vertical markets such as automotive, health industry, semi-consular, many more. And yeah, so To myself, maybe a few words. Also, I'm responsible for the startup area in the global company, and so what we do is really the internal ecosystem management of startups and external. Also with Plug and Play, we do the matchmaking of startup solutions with our business needs, and also coordinate all the partnerships in that regards.
Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, again, welcome. Louise, how about you?
Yeah, hi, I'm happy to be here. My name is Luise Müller-Hofstede. I'm, as you already said, responsible for strategic partnerships, but also Director of Business Development at Circular. And yeah, just a few words on what we do, as we are not that well known as DB Schenker. We are a software business, a green tech company, headquartered in London, but have business entities in Germany, where I'm based, in Berlin, as part of our EU headquarter, but also in Singapore for our Asian customer base and in North America. And basically what we did, or what Circular developed, is a software solution that enables our customers to track the flow of goods in supply chains. And we are doing this for two reasons. So the first one is proving responsible sourcing. So for ethical reasons, for example, proving the provenance in cobalt value chains, for example. So all things in terms of electrification, batteries or laptops, cell phones, making sure that the cobalt is actually coming from a certified source, and that there's no child labor involved, but also responsibly source materials in terms of environmental challenges. So wood, plastic, nickel, CO2 intensities of resources that travel a long way, typically from mine sites in Africa, going over to Asia and to refinement processes, and then coming over mainly to Europe or North America. And by that, we are supporting our customers in their climate neutrality objectives. And currently we are, leader in this very nascent space of traceability and supply chain visibility.
Perfect. I mean, you said people may not know you, but we definitely do know you very well at Plug and Play. As I said, our corporate partners really love working with you guys, and you've had an amazing growth trajectory over the past few years, right? Do you want to talk about it a little bit as well?
Sure, it's a success story. No, of course, in Plug and Play is not only, we have not been only part of a startup program, but also have been a very early investor, so also a very early believer in our business and in sustainability. So thank you for that. Since then we went through more funding rounds. Series B is coming at the end of this year. We raised a lot of capital, mainly with the Wesley Group. It's an early Tesla investor sitting in the US, making sure that sustainable or that supply chains are sustainable. And we are in scale phase, so we are not really a startup anymore. We are almost like a scale up. Currently, almost like 80 people, and it's exciting times to be at the company.
Amazing. And for the audience, we have case studies with Circular as well. So request them from us if you are interested to learn more about the company. And Arthur, coming back to you, at Plug and Play, we talk a lot about innovation, and we love to explore our corporate partners and startups' way of looking at it. And I would just love to know your perspective, your personal and your company's perspective on innovation. What does it mean to you? I mean, how do you apply it? And, sometimes in your company, do you feel like it is rooted deeply in the culture to innovate? How do you feel about it?
Yes, sure. I mean, working as a global innovation manager, so a few years already in the company, there's nothing else I can say that innovation, of course, is really important for us. So I think over the past year, we're establishing a quite strong standing when it comes to innovation in our organization. On the one hand, on the board level, but on the other hand, which is probably even more important, is on business and operational level. So because this is where the innovation happens then in the end. So and to foster this innovation, also we have also several departments also to foster digitalization. Where, for instance, in our CDO area, we have a big department, data strategy and analytics, working on all data topics. So digitizing, optimizing our processes, but then we have also in the CDO area digital solutions, so really doing the applications, so the driver apps, for instance, booking platforms, tracking platforms. So this is what they do. And in the area of CEO, we have our innovation and ventures department, so responsible for investments, as the name already says, but also R&D topics, trends, foresights, innovation projects. What we cover is also a big area of startup management, innovation network. So and yeah, this is where we also have joined the cooperation actually with Plug and Play. So we joined the supply chain network in Hamburg in 2019, and this was directly implemented and initiated by our CDO. And yeah, today our corporate sponsor is our CEO Jochen Teves. And the goal of this collaboration is quite clear. So we want to get in touch really with the best startup solutions, and Plug and Play is here really good in understanding what are our business needs. Yeah, what are the business needs? What are we looking for? Doing here startup scoutings for us, evaluate startups with us together, and what I have to also to say, so the best thing about Plug and Play, the biggest value is that they position us always as an innovation leader in the industry. So this is also where the most startup collaborations happen, because startups know then, okay, what is our focus area? What are we interested in? And then we can run pilot projects together. Yeah.
Amazing. Actually, that would be my follow-up question, but you already answered. So I would just wanted to ask you a little bit about your experience with Plug and Play as well as a separate question. Okay. Would you have anything to add, like about how Plug and Play adds value to you, like where we are very helpful, where maybe not so much, but mostly the positives, I hope?
Yeah, of course, as already mentioned. So when it comes to a certain business need, if we have with business unit, for instance, in contract logistic or in land transport, we can always come to Plug and Play with our deal flows. So communicate also already with our subject matter experts. So what is the problem? What are we looking for? And here really to have an overview of the best startups. This is really a big value. But as already mentioned, I would even say the bigger value is that we have really this visibility along the industry and the ecosystem. This is really important for us.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, we have a big network, and what we do is we don't just match corporates with startups, but we also match companies with companies. We match people with mentors. So it's a multi-way matching process. It's a really exclusive innovation club, I'd like to call it. I think it makes sense that way. And Louise, coming back to you again, we love Circular. You talk about it, and we truly believe in the value you guys add. We know what you do, but for the sake of understanding of the audience, would you like to talk about maybe some cases where you created genuine value for your customers?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to create value because the space we are entering, let's say the deeper part of the supply chains, there has been very little and almost no visibility at all. So by being able to trace the flow of goods and mapping out supply chains and connecting value chain participants with each other, we create a lot of value for our customers in terms of gaining visibility. So that's very broadly said, but the question is more, why do we need this visibility? And we need this visibility in order to control the supply chain, but controlling in a good way. So coming from sustainability and decarbonizing supply chains, it's very difficult for our customers, or has been very difficult for them before, to control, measure, and report parts of the supply chains where they didn't even know which participants sit in there. And if they knew the participants, they wouldn't know what other energy mixes they're using, what kind of carbon package is actually the components arriving at their facilities and then becoming part of their products. And so visibility is sort of like a first step for reporting and for control. So we've done this mainly in the automotive space, but also in the aerospace, for example. So we have big corporate names such as Daimler, but also Volvo and Polestar, Jaguar Land Rover as well, and then having like the entire supply chain from raw material producers to the chemical industry in the midstream part. And we let's say what we're providing the customers with is sort of like a control room
of something that hasn't been controllable before. Yeah, I understand. There is a lot to talk about in terms of your value add, but since our time is limited, I'll have to probably cut it here and move on to Arthur. Your experience of collaborating with startups, what are the difficulties? How easy it is for you? What do you think about? Do you ever say maybe we should do this? If we do this, it will be better, or any areas for improvement, or what do you think about it overall?
Yeah. So first of all, of course, it is a big challenge for a giant like Schenker to collaborate with startups to have the processes, or let's call it effort. So you have to imagine we are really a huge organization with several business units, functional units, on a regional level, but also on a country level. And the biggest challenge is actually not to work with the startups, but the internal setup. So the biggest task is really to establish here the internal network of subject matter experts, because in the end, if we have a startup solutions, our business is the best one to evaluate, is this solution interesting for us? Can we apply this or not? And the important thing I would say here is not only to assign colleagues that can you check startup solutions with us, but also really to demonstrate value of startup solutions. So if we, for instance, show best practices, successful projects in the past, so show concrete use cases to a certain business. So this is what we need to do, and the maintenance of this internal network is really crucial. So that we have regular exchanges, challenge startup solutions, look for pain points, prioritize pain points, also to consider, okay, we have this kind of pain points, but doesn't make sense to apply startups for it, because not always it is reasonable to apply startups for certain pain points. So this is the biggest, I would say the biggest challenge is really internally, because you have to consider, okay, we have now our experts, but then we evaluated around 4,000 startups already over the past 5 years, and we need a knowledge management for that. Yeah. So with what startups do we work globally? So what is the stage with each startup? Did we just have only a discussion or a pilot project, or did we have, or is it already in standard operations? So yeah, and do we have maybe already other solutions in place so we can evaluate and give the startups quite fast feedback? So the transparency about this knowledge and to create here the synergies, this is really the biggest task, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. And as you said, you're a huge firm, but you've been working with startups for a while now. You've seen more than 4,000 startups. But how is it different within you now when you first started versus now? Did you create, for example, some roadmaps? Did you, learn from your mistakes? And what has changed over the past few years since you started working with startups?
Yes, so the biggest task and thing we have done, I would say, is to establish the processes, or as already mentioned. So we have now really a big network of subject matter experts. We have really official innovation ambassadors to all business units, to all relevant functional units. And what we have also done, what is really successful is we recently also rolled out an innovation platform, so to which all employees have internally access. So they have the full overview of startup activities, collaborations, projects we have. We can also communicate here via the platform and have here really transparency in a really efficient way. So this is what we have done.
So do you find it, that's also, another follow-up question. You are working in a platform with Plug and Play. This is an ecosystem that we created. Do you find it, obviously you find working with startups helpful, but do you find it useful to work with other corporates in the same ecosystem? Do you learn from each other?
Absolutely. So this is at least as important as working with startups. So in our supply chain networks, we have plenty of partners, and we had already several individual exchanges. And the target here is always to figure out, okay, what are your pain points? What are our pain points? Where do we have here maybe overlaps? So, and how can we use plug and play for that? So for instance, if we want to have a joint scouting, so many of the partners are also our customers, for instance. This is the plus that we can work then together and develop solutions together in cooperations with Plug and Play, and do pilot projects, use the same startups. So this is really a plus here that we have also here really experienced and big corporates on the platform.
Yeah, understood. I'm glad we've been helpful. Coming to you, Louise, actually, I would love to understand your point of view, like the difficulties of working with corporates, because corporates and startups have completely different DNAs, right? I mean, we both need them, the society needs them both, but their uses and the way of operating and thinking are very different. It's hard, that's why like it's hard to create a startup from within a corporate. That's my opinion, but I think that most people would agree with that. How do you overcome those challenges? What are some of the difficulties you're seeing, you're facing?
Yeah, I think Arthur already pointed it out quite well. I mean, there's the elephant and the mouse, right? So wheels are turning slow at the corporate, and wheels are turning quick at the startup. And I think what has been most helpful, or let's say learning from the collaborations with corporates, is where there was a really good relationship, you know, where we, and I mean, Plug and Play is providing that by offering this in-house champion, right? So I'm mainly connected to those champions, and I have to say all of them have been only great. And I almost need them as a coach, you know, and they need me as a coach too. And we need to ask honest questions like, how does this work with you? Like, what is the best approach? Because obviously a startup tries to do everything. You know, we want to do this and we want to do that. And these are all the areas where we would like to bring innovation into. But of course, there are internal blockers, or let's say slow downers, where we need help and coaching and guidance from the corporates to say, great idea, but believe me, this is a long and painful way. Let's start somewhere else, or let's start, I don't know, in a smaller project, and then let's scale this project. So in the end, it's all communication. But I can say, if there isn't a good relationship between one person from the startup and one person from the corporate, who both understand each other, talk to each other, and want to make this happen, and then both of this team can go then back into corporate and startup and develop from there. And communication, honesty is super important. What often is very intransparent from the corporate side, and where I would like to put on my wish list for corporate, is budgeting. Because, you know, of course, from a startup point of view, you think, well, it's a corporate, they have money, they have big budgets, and so on. And of course, they are corporate, they are big, and they have a lot of revenue. That doesn't mean your person or the partner you're dealing with has like the huge pot. So in my opinion, or my recommendation would be actually having this conversation quite early, to say, I don't know, we have 50,000 euros this year for a pilot project in this area. What can you make happen for those 50,000 euros? Sorry, could be also 10, I don't know. Arthur, if you want to share some of the details.
Arthur was smiling there, like, you know.
Let's say it like that, it depends.
No, but to get the point, it's because we from the startup side can adjust. You know, if you tell me we have 10,000, might be difficult to do something impactful, but maybe we can do something tiny, just to show and get more buy-in from your stakeholders. If you say, hey, we are in this lucky position to have like a great budget this year, what is the best thing you can propose for this budget? And then, you know, then we can go all in and propose and do sort of like the best scope of work possible for that project, for that budget. So that is something which often is not being talked about, very intransparent of where this budget is coming from, how big it could be, is it fixed, is it not fixed? So this is my recommendation for a successful completion of a project.
Yeah, a few things you said, actually, I'd like to touch upon. You mentioned, you know, it is not easy, but it gets easier as you start to know each other. And the fact that we have the champion system, that helps you guys a lot. And maybe I'd like to explain the champion system at Plug and Play for the audience. When we're working with a corporate partner, we expect them to assign a point of contact person for us to be able to do our work better. And that creates magic, because you give some sort of responsibility to a person, and usually that person is closer to the startup ecosystem. That's one of the key ways of our ability to make a startup work with a corporate. So yeah, moving on to you guys. I don't want to talk too much. It's your, the stage is yours today. Maybe Louise, as a follow-up question, we love to hear you. As far as I know, you guys don't work at DB Schenker, right? Some of our audience have already heard a startup pitching to a corporate. If you were to do a very quick sales pitch to Arthur why they should work with you, how would you, sort of influence them to work with you? Or why would they work with you, or why would they not work with you?
Yeah, no, a very good point. Maybe as opposed to doing a sales pitch, I can talk a little bit about the synergies I would see. And usually, as opposed to a sales pitch, I actually like to have a conversation first, just to align where are you. And usually I'm talking about sustainability agendas and willingness to innovate. But obviously with all of the plug and play corporates, that is the case. No, but I mean, it is obviously, as a logistics firm, DB Schenker is not part of like my main customer base. My main customer base are the OEMs, the manufacturers, the chemical industry, the miners. Those are the guys I want to have on the platform in order to provide data for the entire value chain. But the logistics companies, of course, are the how you can say, like the connecting thread through all the supply chain participants. And of course, DB Schenker is sitting in all of the supply chains we are currently active in. And as I said, as we are supporting our customers to decarbonize their supply chains, and logistics obviously making a big part of that, we could definitely benefit from each other by saying that if we could have access, for example, in form of a pilot to sort of like CO2 tracking tool that DB Schenker surely is using in some way, and to plug that into the supply chains that we are already tracking, then we could use their actual CO2 emissions data onto that material flow. So this would, for example, help our end customers and also DB Schenker's customers at the same time to precisely and dynamically track carbon. That is currently not the case. So usually there's average data being used. But what we could provide our common customers with is the value of having dynamic carbon tracking, which means they would see how DB Schenker performs better than, let's say, another logistics company who, I don't know, supplies or provides logistics from point A to B, and DB Schenker does C to D, or maybe also A to B. So they would say, so every sustainability efforts DB Schenker is doing in terms of electrifying the fleet and optimizing processes and truck loads and container loads, these improvements would be visible on our platform.
Yeah. I see Arthur smiling again, liking your comments. Maybe you guys will have a follow-up talk after this. I don't know. What do you think, Arthur?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's actually also nothing else I would add where we could create synergy. So I think Louise summed it up in a quite good way. So of course, many of your customers, Louise, are also our customers. This is where I see the biggest synergies, and here if we have an exchange and see how we can collaborate or find synergies also with our sustainability guys, because we have also a sustainability department, that will be definitely beneficial. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And maybe making the bridge there the next time we are doing a project with one of the plug and play corporates. Maybe I can give you a call and ask, are they your customers as well? And maybe we can connect the dots.
Probably they are.
I know.
we create magic even when we're doing live business, guys. So yeah, this is plug and play power. Again, Arthur, follow up for you. would you add anything about, maybe I should rephrase the question. How should a startup approach you? What do they do right? What do they do wrong usually? Like maybe a few pros and cons.
So, I mean, maybe to the channels, so how startups can approach us, also for the startups listening here. So we have an email address, startups@dbschenker.com. Here you can approach us. So this is the easiest way. But in terms how startups approach us, it is for us always challenging sometimes to understand what a startup wants. So for us, it is really important to know if a startup reaches out to us, what are the expectations, what are the ambitions. So do you want just to have feedback on an idea, solution? Would you like to have mentoring? Would you like to run a pilot project with us? Investment. So this is really something important, what we need to know. Then we can really initiate the right steps here, include the right colleagues to have here really the best outcome together. Yeah. So this is what I can do.
Okay. It's been really fun to talk to you guys. I mean, we can be here and talk for another hour, probably at least. But we're getting closer to our given time limit, so I'll probably cut it here and ask you for your final comments, words, anything you'd like to say. If you would like to sing or anything, just feel free to do so in the next 2 minutes. Whoever wants to go first.
Happy to go first, just genuinely being thankful for the opportunity to be here and talk about this. This is super important for the startups, but also for the corporates. I listened to those panels a lot when I started to work at the startup, and as Arthur said, we don't have a corporates@circular.com email address, but maybe we should. So also on the corporate side, if somebody is interested in supply chain visibility, anything, just a conversation, even if you don't have a budget and just want to talk, I'm here and happy to take any questions.
Very good to hear. Nice to meet you guys, and thank you very much for being here with us at Plug and Play Istanbul Mobility and IoT Verticals First Expo. So very thankful. I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. And if you ever end up working together, please let me know. I'll just put it on my LinkedIn or something. Thanks. Today, actually, I'll just end the panel here and just say a few goodbye words as well, because this is also the end of our expo. Literally, this was the last item in the agenda. Well, in this expo, we share with you some of our highlights and our past year's work and try to give you a glimpse of the ecosystem. I hope you had fun. I would like to take the opportunity to thank our founding partners first, MESS and Aygaz, and our ecosystem partner, Otokoç, and then to all the ecosystem here. And to all the audience that are watching us today, if we could achieve so much in such a short time, that is because there is the appetite and enthusiasm around. So thank you very much. Stay curious and stay young. Please get in touch with us if you would like to know more about Plug and Play or you are interested in working with us. We're saying bye for now, but I'm glad to say that we're starting our next program with our first focus week happening at the end of March. With MEXT and Aygaz as founding partners, Otokoç ecosystem partner. Stay tuned for the updates. I will see you later. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye. Bye-bye, guys.